scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the scrub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it.
A world full of Bob Smiths, be a trapper. You are now tuned in to the coolest reptile podcast in the world. I'm your boy, MJ. This is your first time tapping in. What is good? Welcome. Hope you're ready for a fucking sick show tonight. Please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the dislike button. Leave me a comment. Really means a lot to not only me, but the guest. Want to know what your guys' feedback is. Want to make sure you guys are really getting something from this. And I know you guys are, because I get your guys' feedback all the time. But man, what a great show this is about to be. Thursday, you know, it feels like a Friday. Get my headphones out real quick, man, but I hope you guys are having a great week. I know I'm having a great week, man. There's things moving in my trap. And when I say moving, I mean, you know, ovulating, snakes going off food, moving. I mean, shit, what are we, June 10th. So June 10th, I'm just now about to get clutches. I probably won't get my first clutch till July, but I went from 0 to 10 very quickly. So I could possibly still hit my mark, what I want to hit. But anyways, enough about me, man. You guys already know what the deal is. Before we get started, shout out to the number one, hardest, freshest, bestest rodent company in the game, coldbloodedcafe.com. Just got my penguin packages, freshly packed. You know what's crazy? Cold Blooded Cafe is awesome. That's all I got to say. $30 flat rate shipping. Day one pinks all the way to the mammoth wraps. Shout out to the Cold Blooded Cafe team. You guys are amazing. Shout out to Focus Cube Habitats, Ashley and Steven. You want to talk about being trappers? You know, listen, if you're out there like, hey, MJ, what's a trapper? Dude, fucking trapper is somebody who's out there getting it, getting their own, grinding every day, not bitching, just making shit happen. No excuses. That's a trapper. And I feel like that's exactly what the fuck Focus Cube Habitat is doing. I'm telling you, the demand is through the roof right now, but they're making the enclosures happen. I'm telling you right now, the turnaround is fast with these guys, faster than anywhere else. So get in there, get your fucking orders in, man. Focus Cube Habitats. The future of habitats are now here. Super durable, PVC built. Go check them out. Tell them MJ sent you. You want to talk about legit, super legit? Sim containers, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You got eggs, put them inside of a sim box. That's where they belong. That's where you'll have the most peace of mind of making sure either your little dinosaur or your little noodle comes out of that egg with no issues. Humidity on point. You just got to make sure you got your incubator legit, you know? That's on you. But I can tell you right now, if that egg is inside of a sim box and your incubator is legit, that egg is hatching. So that being said, go check out Sim Containers. Shout out to John. Shout out to Alex, doing big things, heavy things all the time. And we already know what when it comes to heavy stainless steel racks, Freedom Breeder, where you at? Made in the United States, the real deal. I'm telling you right now, you got a Freedom Breeder rack, pat yourself on the back. This is the real deal shit, man. I cannot wait till the day comes where I have a bunch of Freedom Breeder stainless steel racks. That day is probably going to be a while because of all fucking gnats out there. So many out there are popping Freedom Breeder racks, and you know, good for you, man. That's sick. I mean, you guys are really about it. So yeah, Freedom Breeder racks don't lose their value. They even got racks from the 90s that are still holding up. I'm telling you right now, Freedom Breeder is the way to go when it comes to wanting to put an investment inside your rack systems. I'm telling you right now. And then you just feel legit too. You feel super legit. But yeah, Freedom Breeder, thank you. And then need I say more? The big dog himself, always evolving pythons, always making a huge impact no matter what it is that he does. He's inspiring somebody, and he's always inspiring me. That's for sure. Come on. Fuck. But yeah, man, thank you, Miguel, so much, bro. Honestly, bro, it just doesn't surprise me the moves that you make. And I just know that you're going to continue to make these moves. You're going to continue to inspire. And if you out there have not gotten to see the kind of shit that Miguel works with and what he does with his YouTube channel, because nobody does what he does, and that's why I fuck with him. But make sure you go check him out, man. I'm telling you right now, Miguel Garcia, no joke, always evolving python. Shout out to him. Shout out to the whole team. You guys are amazing. And then US Arc, thank you so much for the fight. Anyone out there who's all about supporting US Arc, thank you so much. Please, let's get anyone else that you talk to on the same fucking page that you are on, because they really need us. It's not a joke, man. They're continuing to do what they do. But, you know, like I said, we got to make sure we show the support. But yeah, man, US Arc, please, if you cannot support US Arc financially, just go ahead and blast it on your stories, post it, do what you got to do, man. But US Arc is something that we need to make sure we're talking about whenever we get the chance. Okay. It's not a fucking, you know, wave like, oh, okay, I guess laws are, you know, yeah, you know, we should start talking about. No, we talk about US Arc all the time. All right. It's going to be alpha brain time. All right, cool. And then, oh yeah, before I forget, if you want to get your hands on some solid, legit Trap Talk with MJ podcast gear, some merch, make sure you go to herpermerch.com. There are some legit breeders on there where you can get your hands on some awesome gear. So please go down to the link below, herpermerch.com. Get yourself some hoodies, man. They got some freaking shirts, face masks, you name it. So shout out to Cedric. Thank you for plugging up Trap Talk with herpermerch.com. And you yourself should definitely jump up on that. I highly recommend it. All right, guys. And then before we really dip into tonight's guest, which I'm very excited for, please, if you want to reach out to me, if you really want to get my attention, please hit me up on Instagram, mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. And it would really mean a lot if you followed the channel's podcast page, Trap Talk with MJ podcast on Instagram. And then shout out to all my Twitch viewers. I just started Twitch a couple of weeks ago, and or I want to say maybe a couple months ago, but hell, guys, anyone out there on Twitch, I would love it if you start watching me on Twitch. It means a lot. Shout out to all my Twitch viewers. TikTok, kind of a weird platform. Whatever, I'm doing it. I'm putting stuff out there because it's fun. So go follow me on TikTok, mjexoticscartal 619. And then last but not least, God, man, my Patreon family. I love you guys so much. You guys are such a push for me. It's ridiculous. If you are out there looking to want to join a community where you can learn about shit, not just one, not just about one snake, but a whole tons of different types of fucking species. Like if that's what you're looking for, then go down to the Patreon page. I bring people to the channel we do Zoom sessions every Sunday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm telling you right now, you don't want to miss this, especially if you're new in the game and you want to learn more. You could skip a shit ton of steps by joining the Patreon page and seeing what we're all talking about every day. It's just nonstop popping on there. So with that being said, shout out to all my early birds in the comics. How are you guys doing? Okay, let's see here. Oh, shout out to this real quick. I appreciate you, Kevin. This right here is the kind of stuff that makes my heart warm. It makes me want to go hard as hell. So shout out to my boy Forrest Pythons Bateman. Make sure you go give him a follow. It's my boy Kevin, Patreon Savage. What's up, Jacob? I hope you're ready for a good show. This is gonna be a good one. Another Patreon soldier in the building. What's up, Jay Hendo? I hope you're doing good. Yep, fat dabs all the time. Hit that like button, please. What's up, Scales, Fins, and Feathers? How are you? Wiz Constrictors, what up, bro? This one is gonna be epic. Ryan is one of the smartest dudes I've ever Bro, we're going to talk about that. And if you haven't had the chance to meet Erica, your mind's about to be blown right now. So just be ready. What's up, Andrew? My fellow trappers in the building. What is good? Hannah Banana. What's up, Hannah? My boy, Austin. Yeah, all my trap savages are here, man. I just love it. That's why I get all excited. Julio. What's up, Julio? Another trap savage. What's up, Marlon? And then the, trap soldier right there, Josh Fallon. What's up, Josh? Aurora, how are you? Tyler King, the Reptile. Y'all ain't ready for this. I'm telling you, nobody's ready for this show. Matt Summers, what is good? All right, man, you guys are okay. Little homie Aiden, what's up, Aiden? That's the youngest trapper to date. What is good, Aiden? Thanks for being here. We're going to cut it off at Aiden because he's the homie. And we're going to get right into it because I am so excited. I had the pleasure. Okay. Let me just rewind real quick. I knew Ryan through Forrest, period. I went down. Forrest came to San Diego. He's like, hey, meet me here. It was San Diego show. I couldn't believe he was here. And, went and this was Friday. And then I see this fucking bald head dude looked really buff and, kind of was scary. But he's like nice. He's not any of that. But anyways, the dude, he's a grinder. So I was really drawn to Ryan from the beginning. And then what really connected us is when I flew to Tinley that got canceled. Him and his fucking beautiful wife took me in to their home. I got to sleep on their couch, even though I didn't really sleep because I was just so amazed by everything they had shown me that night. But anyways, let's just get into it, man, because like I said, without further ado, we have Vet. Okay, first off, go follow them on freaking Instagram. Go get those follows up right now, okay? Because this is the future. VidTech Products. I bring you Eric Mcveigh. Eric and Ryan Mcveigh. Sorry.
That was so slick. That was
Damn
so
it.
slick. We still love you, brother. We still love you.
What's up, dude?
Good.
Hi,
I'm good,
guys.
man. We're good.
Hi, Erica.
Hi! I'm yelling at Emily, who's sitting across the kitchen right now.
Yeah, Reptile is right at our kitchen counter right now. We took in another stray. We always do, man. So there you go.
Oh, wow. What's up, Reptile? Oh, hell yeah. In the building. Well, dude, guys, I'm so happy this is finally happening. And I'm glad that you reminded me that you guys got some stuff to talk about. Like, you want to bring this to the industry. So we're going to dip right into it. But before we do, like, how's everything, guys? Like, how's the family? Like, I want to know what's going on with you guys.
Everything's good, dude. Naomi started taking ballet lessons via Zoom during the pandemic. So we had like a little she did a ballet thing for everybody in family, and we did a whole Zoom thing. That was pretty cool. Recital. There we go. That's the word. Little recital. And then Boogie's still kicking ass and taking names.
Excuse me. Emily, Boogie, caught the biggest fish.
Oh, yeah.
Boogie,
did you see the Dave Coffin stuff? We went out fishing.
Monstrous.
Dude, Boogie was pulling in fish bigger than her, man.
Why doesn't it surprise me? Boogie's she's that girl who would do that. I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the world's big enough for Boogie, bro. She's on. She's going to take it on.
She's going to do some.
She's got hella Loki energy, too.
You know what's crazy is I love kids, and you guys know that. I've been, I saw, when I introduced your kids were so fucking warm and just welcoming. But Boogie, man, that's the one that she stuck to me. Like every time I would look down, she was right there, and I'm just like, dude, you were the cutest. Like, I wanted to take her home.
Total badass little kid, and she's just I think every single person thinks like, oh, my kids are awesome, but then you meet their kids and they're total pieces of crap. And they are. There's so many crappy parents. There's so many crappy kids.
Honestly, and with all due respect, hey, Erica, he's right though. If a kid's crappy, it's because of the parent. It's not it's the parents are not fucking tired shitless because they're giving their kids all the attention they possibly can. And I know this for a fact. I just went to go visit my boy Socrates, and boy, his kids, man, like his daughter, 8 years old. 6 years old, 6 years old, and just kills it. But her energy is just she'll tire you out, and he just doesn't stop with it. And because he doesn't stop with it, she is literally very respectful, so smart, always wants to learn. Same stuff I got, when I met your guys' your guys' monster crew, the three beautiful kids. Oh man, it was
man, dude. We lucked out. I love girls are just awesome. We just lucked out with such awesome kids, and it's
honestly,
it's because of this one.
The role model. I'm telling you right now, blame the parents. Always blame the parents. Good or bad, blame the parents. This is how it goes. You know what I mean? But okay, guys.
Swear on this show.
You can swear now. There you go.
Oh yeah, Erica, live, please be you. You could come on, please. This is what this is for.
I am glorious and dignified. Ask Emily. I haven't sworn once the entire time she's been here.
Yeah.
Something like that.
All right, so okay, real quick. I was talking about how what drew me to you guys in the in that big energy in person was Forrest. Forrest is the reason why I even met you, Ryan, and probably why. And Ryan, with all due respect, dude, when I saw you at the show, and it wasn't even when the show started, but you were setting up, you're just nonstop, bro. Like, you are somebody who's continuously either setting something up or you're talking. And when the show's going, this guy's sweating bullets, but he's literally just not stop. He goes to one family to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And I remember I waited 20 minutes to say bye to you one time. And I just left. No, I just goes. I was like, I'm not gonna. And I didn't want to interrupt you, but man, I was really observing you, man, and I was literally watching the energy that you kept with every person you were going to, and it just didn't dry out. It didn't die out. So,
till I got back to my room and went. Like, dude,
there's always a crash.
Oh
there's
yeah.
Always,
oh yeah.
There's
But,
always.
like, I can't not do that. Like, I love reptiles. I get excited about it. I love everybody else that loves reptiles, and if they want to nerd out with me, even if it's to tell me that they found a toad in their yard, I think that's the coolest thing ever. And I think every person that comes up to me deserves that same amount of attention and energy. So I keep going. I just go until I can't. Like it's they deserve better. So
these shows are an all-day freaking thing. Like it's not like, you know, where you have half the day to kick it and stuff like that. Like it takes a lot. And because of the stuff I've seen at shows, I mean, I hope I'm wrong about this, but I don't see myself ever vending at a show because me being ADD and the way I am, I feel like the amount of stress, the attention I need to because I want to be like you. I want to make sure I'm giving the information the best information I could give to every person possible. But my attention span just breaks down. Like I just kind of like snap after a while, but that's just me. So I respect when I see somebody whose passion drives them to do it like that consistently. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Dude, it drives us to the end. Like I'm telling you, man, we get back after, and then Saturdays, dude, are even more, because then we go to the auction, and I don't get to shut it off yet. So I gotta go through the whole auction and hang out with everybody, schmooze, whatever, chat with everybody, and then everybody's like, oh, we're going out to eat, we're doing this, and I'm like, yeah, let's keep going. All right, like. You know, it's worth it.
Hey, I get to front with being hangry.
Oh yeah, she just gets to get all hangry. She's like, I'm just pissed off and tired.
Everyone's like, oh, she's hangry. I'm like, yes, I haven't hit my limit. I'm just now a complete asshole. That's why I'm just hangry. That's fine.
I hate it. I hate it how they say it like it's a cute thing. Like I'm not. It's not. Yeah, I am hangry. It's not fucking cute. Change your voice tone. Like I don't like. You know what I mean? Like I want to eat. Like I'm trying to eat. You know what I mean?
When she gets to eat, it's fucking serious.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, I evolve. Like I don't call myself a Devo. Some guys just call me, I'm a dude. I turn into a girl. Like I am super vicious. I am like, don't you know what I mean? Like when I start to sweat because I'm hungry, that's when you just don't even want to talk to me. Like I just give me water or something.
That's Naomi, man. That's Naomi hiking.
Yeah.
You just hand her a granola bar and you back up real slow.
Yeah.
I mean, on Snake Road, and
you just shove it.
Oh, I have to tell it. We were hiking on Snake Road with her, and she was a trooper. She is like hiking up and down that road. It is hot as balls. We're all sweating. And then all of a sudden she goes, no. And we're like, what? And she's like, I'm done. We're like, okay.
And she just sat down.
In the middle of the road.
Of a road that's
where there's
covered in venomous snakes everywhere.
And we
like you're hopscotching across venomous snakes.
Yeah, we literally had found a couple of baby water cottonmouths, just like a couple of
oh god,
not even like that far. And she just sat her ass down, pulled out her granola bar, took a couple of bites, took some sips of her water, rolled up her granola bar, put it back in her pack, stood back up, and then just hiked.
Yeah, and she's like, "We're good now."
Oh my god!
All right, that's the key.
And we
just
just
go 2 hours, and that's it. If she doesn't eat, it's gonna get real.
Yeah, we started timing it.
Because look, there's been a lot of change in my life for the last 3 years, but all for the good. You know, I've been working on my anger and stuff like that, and every now and then, the only time where my wife has to talk to me is when I'm legit. I'm not mad about anything else but food. I just need to eat. I'm telling you. And she's like looking at me. She's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I swear to God, I just need to eat. And then once I eat, it's like a freaking light switch. I'm telling you, food just does that to some people. I
know those people.
I'm telling you, it's nothing personal. And I work on it. Sometimes, I even fast. I don't fast too much, but I intermittent fast, and I'll try not to eat till noon, and then I'll eat everything I need to eat within 8 hours. But anyways, I even do that just so I could get used to being hungry sometimes. But man, there's just sometimes where you're just so hungry, it don't matter. Then you stress out, and then you stress out about how hungry you are. Yeah. And and then you start drinking more coffee, and then have you ever drank so much coffee where the coffee just cuts out? It just you're like, what the hell? And you're just all coffee.
Eric, we called out right now.
You're kind of
so
speaking
called
her
out.
language, dude. This is you're the male version of my wife, Brett.
There you go.
Right now,
God,
like,
this fuck, dude.
oh, dude, she gets it,
I love you, Erica.
and she gets it, and I get what it's like to be Mrs. Juarez. So yeah, I get it. I get the other side.
Oh, I
Like,
feel so called
eat
out.
this
that,
grape
like,
and just shut up for a minute. I'm working on it. We're working on food. What do you want to eat? I don't know. And I'm like, there's 78 restaurants within 4 feet of us, but
it
I
is
don't want
whatever
any of
going
them.
to just fit in my mouth.
That's
You
a
know
lie,
what
though.
I don't
That's
like
a
to
lie,
eat.
though.
Bullshit. You know what I don't like to eat. Just don't fucking get that. How hard is that?
Okay. All right, guys, real quick. We'll get because this could go for a while. Because, like I said, if Mrs. J jumps in, oh man, we're me and you are doomed, Erica. But okay, listen for the people, because I for the most part, guys, this is a channel that attracts a lot of new keepers and whatnot. So I have a good feeling not too many people know what it is that you both do and what you've been doing throughout the whole time you've been involved in the industry. So if we could start with you first, Ryan, what's been your background and your involvement in the industry, and for like how long? And I'm going to use the restroom, but I could hear you. So go ahead and start talking. I'll be right back.
No, dude. I caught a toad when I was little, and then that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
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 No, I worked at a pet store in college, and I've kept reptiles since as long as I could ever remember. And then after the pet store, I started doing educational outreach, and then started the Madison Area Herp Society in 2010, and from there it just kind of kept going, and I started breeding. I was breeding years before that, and through the Herp Society, reached out and did a lot of other stuff.
Okay, but what were you breeding? Because it's kind of a big deal what you were breeding.
I bred a ton of stuff.
But what was the super exciting one?
I don't remember which one was what's super exciting.
The Odor?
Oh yeah, I bred Odura. I had a really big Odura collection, Australian velvet geckos, and I bred crested geckos back in the day, and a ton of different stuff. And yeah, I've always had reptiles around me. And then in 2015, I got the opportunity to take over Zilla as the marketing brand manager. With just my background in it, and dude, I have no marketing background at all. It was strictly just because of the work I'd done in the reptile community and the name that I built for myself and stuff. And
love it.
Yeah, no, and I took it over then and doubled the size of that company in 6 years, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now and now
Besides
you're.
that brand, yeah.
But now, what was it that was making you grow the brand so big? It was by you going to all these shows, I'm assuming, right? Like
Zilla Zilla is a brand that's owned by a really big corporation that owns a lot of other pet brands and things like that. And
okay.
They didn't really have a reptile person, like at all, in the whole company. So they were just kind of manufacturing things based off of like insights from pet stores and Petco and things like that. That's why you saw a lot of Zilla just being like a Petco brand.
Right.
And it wasn't really supported by the hobby, but they didn't do shows. They didn't support the hobby. They weren't out there. They wouldn't sponsor USARK or anything like that. So when I took that position, that was the first thing I did. I'm like, if you want to be something in the industry and in the hobby that matters, you sponsor USARK, you show up to the shows, you put your money where your mouth is, and you do something to push the industry forward. And then we're gonna start making products that make more sense. And that's what we did.
That's Ryan.
Yeah. So we started sponsoring more stuff. We started sponsoring more herp societies, events, getting out to symposiums, donating to more conservation, like the Amphibian Foundation. When Mark Mandicka started that up, I got a hold of him. I sent him a truckload of stuff, almost everything they use is Zilla, just to get them started because what he's doing is so amazing. And like just having it was cool because it put me in a position where like it was somebody else's money, so that was awesome. And I got to just spend it, but like I knew where it needed to go, and I knew where there was people who needed to be seen and needed to have like actually get their work move forward, and I could use my position where I was to do a lot of that. So helped Ari out with some of his stuff. We've done just enormous amounts of stuff that Zilla's done, so it was pretty cool.
Now, Erica, I want to know, because obviously your passion, I feel, matches Ryan's when it comes to animals. I've seen you in person as well, so I'm not just saying this. So, but kind of give us a brief little background as far as what your involvement's been with the animals, and then what bridged you to this beautiful hunk right here.
Well, I shot him in the head with a rubber band at a reptile show.
I remember that.
Yeah. And then he proposed to me with an armadillo. Ta-da! At another
like
reptile show.
12 years, like what, 7
Your
years
nutshell.
later, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And then we just spent the time in between being married and doing a bunch of other stuff, and just not being together until one day it was just like we wasted a lot of time. We should fix this.
Yeah. It's
That's amazing.
on the reptile side, though, I have done a lot of work. Actually, most of my work was done on the veterinary side. So I did a lot of work with it, over a decade's worth of work in exotic-only animal hospital, which was absolutely phenomenal. And that's where I got most of my reptile. Now it's because we were an extremely heavy reptile hospital, and that was probably one of the best, to be completely honest. And then a little bit of work at zoos.
So she worked at Brookfield Zoo.
Yep.
Wow.
And then, even as she kind of is just like, I worked at an exotic hospital, and Erica won't say this, but I can because I'm not her. She's probably one of the top veterinary medical minds in the U.S. I mean,
I wouldn't doubt it.
She won't say it. You know more crap than I've seen you bring dead animals back to life, like animals that were dead for 2 hours. So, she's some weird necromancer. But she's the only person I know that is a tech, not a veterinarian, and can hang at some of the tables I've seen her hang at with
Wait, what about something that's been in the freezer for 3 days?
Might be a little
it
rough.
might be a little hard. I wouldn't put it past her though, man.
Okay.
Might be a little rough.
I just want to know if we could save the eggs inside of it. That's all I care about. Is that probably done?
Dude, I had a female chihuahua that was crashing from some massive issues, renal issues, and she had eggs,
died.
And she died. And Erica cut the eggs out of her, and they hatched.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so savage.
Yeah.
So they were that far along where they were good, they were ready to go, or
we didn't know if
we didn't know if they were, but she did that as soon as she passed away. I got her to Erica within a couple minutes, and she did the neck. Yeah, it was longer than that. It was probably half hour at least to an hour, and then she cut her open and pulled the eggs out and cleaned them up, and
we didn't know if it was going to be good actually, but no.
That's the most
it's awesome. I'm going to say for anybody who is like, man, maybe you don't have a significant other and you're a dude in the reptile hobby or a woman in the reptile hobby, your significant other is a CVT that works in exotics. It's awesome. I have my own personal veterinary care for all of our animals. Every animal that dies gets necropsied. It's awesome.
But oh yes, they did actually hatch. Both of them hatched, and we had one male and one female chihuahua from them actually that are growing super, super well. They're absolutely gorgeous.
So Erica, let me ask you this: to get into the medical field with animals, it's not easy. Right? It's not easy, is it? To really, I mean, let's just say to work in a zoo, right? How did you get into, how did you get into the zoo field? What led you there, Erica?
Oh, so it was actually always my dream to do, to work with wildlife. And then, so I had wanted to work with wildlife and then have a large reptile rescue for crocs and large monitors, a sanctuary for crocs and large monitors. That was how I was going to live. Turns out you can't make money that way. Who knew?
Yeah.
So I went down the road of exotics to get more, experience doing zoo work because, the only zoos around here are Brookfield, Lincoln Park, and Shedd Aquarium. And I was doing the exotic work to try and get some exotic experience. I did my work through Chicago Exotics Animal Hospital, and then after about 5 years? 5 years? Yeah, something like that. The opportunity came up for me to do a position over at Brookfield because Brookfield had one of their technicians go on maternity leave, and they're like, "Hey, you want to come on board?" I was like, "Yeah, you gotta do." So I did it, and my boss was, sad to see me go. Very sad to see me go.
Wow.
But was awesome about it. And then afterwards, I went back to Chicago Exotics and, worked there for a really long time until we ended up in, right before we got married. And then I switched over to a different career that could, support a very large growing family and accommodate the schedule that I needed.
Yeah, the stars just align sometimes perfectly. And I feel like with YouTube, it's just, as we talked about that, Ryan, you're like, dude, I'm so fucking lucky to have this girl. And I think within 5 minutes of into your collection, I was like, yeah, I think you're right, Ryan.
I know it, man. I know it every day.
Because it was either you spitting facts or Erica spitting facts, and both your guys' eyes were like this big, and I was like this. I'll never forget like how because that was the first time I've ever been in a room like that, like everything like bioactive, just like which I have pictures of your enclosures, which we're gonna show later. But man, that was like I would say my first professional setup I've ever been in, and I was just inspired, blown away. And I remember too, I was ass tired from the flight, but everything like my second wind came up. When I hold your came in and stuff like. Oh, we'll get into it, but yeah. So Erica,
you got to come back out and see the new changes.
Oh yeah, I'm coming. Well, I'll be there next week. All right.
We live 10 minutes from it, so it's good.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll be there next week. I can't wait. I'll be there with Kush. So I'll be there with Kush, Dez, and so I can't wait. Definitely will link up with you guys. But Erica, so to kind of get back into you meeting Ryan, and then you said that you had to change your field of work to accommodate the family, and what exactly, like, were there sacrifices involved in that, or like can you kind of tell us like a little bit of what that was like transitioning from that one field to to what you were doing when you met Ryan?
It was nobody's ever asked me that.
Yeah, true.
Nobody's ever asked me that. Usually it's, oh, that's very nice. So Ryan.
Dude, he's met us. He knows, like, I'm just the pretty face. You're
I know, and this is what we're going to take him back out to sushi. So it was a difficult transition to do because I absolutely loved working in clinical practice because I loved being hands-on and actually seeing the reptiles that came through, primarily because I love talking to people and I loved educating the owners and then helping them come up with solutions to a lot of their problems. And some of it was
awesome.
therapeutics, some of it was through husbandry, some of it was through hardcore pimping out, his reptile products at the time. But that's the part that I really loved, was just creating those relationships with, the clients who needed it. But then I moved over into actually Antac Diagnostics, and I love my position because now it's opened up like a whole new career path. And now I actually do work with zoos again, where I'm supporting the zoos, and I'm also supporting local veterinary clinics as well.
So hold on, this is what happened really. That's her very, very cute story for what happened.
Okay.
Erica was working in the veterinary field, and unfortunately for vet techs, no matter how amazing you are, there's a very shallow glass ceiling. So, and she kind of knew that. And we started talking about, like, you're bigger than this. You're big. You have bigger dreams. What are we going to do? Well, she got the opportunity to go to Antac, and Antac Diagnostics does, like, if you take your dog to the vet and they send out a fecal sample or a blood sample, this is one of the companies it goes to. So she's still in veterinary medicine. Yeah. She ended up working as a key accounts manager for one of the big corporate veterinary chains. In 3 years, she just got this year. She got the President's Circle Award, which is the highest award her company gives out to anyone, and she was the first recipient of it ever. In that night,
wow.
So and that was only being there for 3 years, and now she's moved out into a territory manager role. But part of her job, even while she was doing the key accounts, she made a business case for why they should get into the vets or into the zoos and work with the zoos. Made a financial business case for it, made a huge presentation, pitched it to the VPs, and then got the go-ahead to be the veterinary person and drive that entire side of the business. Like, it was something they'd never even done, and she was passionate about it and created that whole thing and then brought it all the way up the chain.
Now.
And this isn't you don't hear this stuff in the hobby at all. Like, this isn't like, you know what I mean? Bless your heart, Erica.
She's like, dude, she wants something she doesn't. Like,
she wasn't the VP then.
Yeah, but you had to pitch it to her boss, who Sal was.
Well, no, she helped me with that case.
Yeah, exactly. Still, yeah, you had to pitch it to people that sit at big tables and make, like, stupid money.
ladies, I just want to say one thing out there. Find yourself a man who talks about you the way Ryan Mcveigh talks about Erica. That's all I got to say. Because this guy right here, he talks about like if it's his own accomplishment, but it's not. You know what I mean? That's just that's just pure. I don't know. I'm not going to cry right now or anything, but I'm just saying that's awesome.
I said this to somebody recently, and I'm not fucking kidding. She's somebody that I've always looked up to, and she's one of my heroes in the hobby. She's somebody that I respect fully. Like, this isn't just like, it's just my wife and she knows a lot of stuff. She's somebody that I respect the hell out of.
That's good.
You know, makes a big difference.
And that's what makes the dream work. I'm telling you, the whole, teamwork makes the dream work. You're looking at it. I'm not just saying that either. So okay, Ryan, that being said, I like I said, being in your guys' room in your collection, I looked around it. Not only was I impressed, but I was also like, because I was like, dude, I would love to have something like this. But you want to know what fucking stuck out in my head? Cost. I'm like, dude, this cannot be cheap. These light bulbs, like, I want it, but that shit is like, I'm not fucking Zoo Dreams. I'm not, I don't have money like, I don't have fucking money like that. Not yet. Someday, but either way, that was the first thing that stuck up in my head.
Don't either. You don't either.
We just buy a little cage at a time. You get the kids to go find all the pennies.
Slow
that
growth.
Dropped in the neighborhood. You do what you can, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's one funny thing is people thought like, oh, Ryan like runs Zilla. He must be loaded. I'm like, no, I'm not.
He has a sick room.
No, but like,
yeah.
No, I mean that's another. It's kind of a big difference in how we. And I don't want to put this in a way that puts anybody down, but it's a different aspect in how we look at our animals. Like, look at saltwater keepers, dude. They'll spend $10,000 on a tank to put a $50 fish in it.
Yeah.
I would rather be that. I would rather build the most insane, natural, built-out, huge, crazy enclosure for a skink.
But how long did it take you to learn that lesson, though, that you need to have higher-end equipment, higher-end enclosures to keep said animals longer, healthier, and so you're not having to continually buy these animals.
And that's honestly, that's kind of a hobby thing. That's one of the things I kind of hope, just in what we do and all the stuff we talk about changing, is I don't want to see who hatched the coolest morph or the next big thing. Dude, I want to see the most decked out, badass rainforest planted dart frog enclosure. Or I want to have somebody come up to me and show me like their 42-year-old ball python. Normal ass, pulled out of Ghana 40 years ago, normal ass ball python.
Oh, like Dana Marble from ABC.
Yeah.
By the way, she's
who has one of those?
Too.
Dude, they exist, man. And I'm telling you, like
Dana Marble from NABC. She's a veterinarian.
That's sick.
Phil, I think his name is Phil, and he's 38.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
I mean, like that's to me, that's where I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like that's awesome. That's what I want to see.
But for instance, like I'm saying, there's so many people coming in the hobby, passionate, man. They're fired up, and a lot of them, I can tell you this, man, they're being a lot more receptive to information. Like they want to go the right route, versus where I always feel like I came in an era. I came in like 2017, and everyone just wanted shortcuts. Like everyone was like fucking Craigslist snakes, fucking deals here, deals that. Which it's still out there, but now everyone's like enclosure, which is awesome. Like that should be the mindset, right? But like, but a lot of these. Good.
It's also who you are starting to hang out with, though, because you're also curating who you are hanging out around, and it also is who now is hanging around you because you're starting to invest more of your time and your effort into your animals. Because you wouldn't put like your Timors into something like crappy. You're going to put them into something glorious. Right. So it's now also you're curating like that whole, I hate to say it, and I really hate these cliches, but your vibe and your like it actually does on that one when it comes to the reptile community.
Oh, for sure. That's like everybody bitches about social media. Oh, the reptile community is so toxic, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's what you're looking for. It's simply what you're looking for. And I'll tell you right now, like I'm like, honestly, anytime I've ever talked shit, it's because I'm looking for shit. And that's just the way it works. Like if you're on a certain group page or you're on a fucking thread and you're looking for a bullshit comment and you're reading them, well, then that's what you get. Like you're asking for it. Where, you could literally look at the post, the picture, and keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
or like, if you're in a group, you get put in a group and it's toxic, you just click a button and then you're not in it anymore.
yeah.
And then somebody's an asshole and you don't want to talk to them or hear their crap, and you just unfollow and you don't have to do that anymore. Like, you create the experience you have, and like depending on who you hang with, like, and the people you follow and the things you do, that's the experience you're gonna have. And we surround ourselves with badass people.
Mine's mainly wildlife now, wildlife photography.
Yeah. I mean, the best piece of advice I got from an older homie of mine when I was younger, and I never really understood it. I mean, I always understood it, but now I really understand it. But he's like, you want to know who you're going to be when you grow up? He's like, look at the fucking 4 closest people you hang around with. And that's who you're going to be. Like, that's you, because you are who you hang around with, like, no matter what. And, some people have to learn it the hard way, or some people just pick up on it. And I could tell you right now, I've just been lucky enough to meet some of the best people I feel personally in this industry. And yeah, you find things out later down the road, but you obviously you do what you want to do with it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I mean, I stick to what the good people I meet. Like I said, I'm so excited to have you guys on because, like I said, I have so much, not only so many questions, but just so much interest on what you guys been doing. But not only that, what we're going to talk about with the whole VivTech products. But so what I was trying to get back though earlier was, okay, it's a there's adults, like, we have grown-ass men and women that collect snakes, but there's also like younger teen, like 18, 19, 20-year-olds keepers who are, on their own. Like, I talk to these like, hey, I'm 18. I got a job. I'm trying to do this, and that. So they want it, but so much isn't feasible because how expensive, products would be. So let's kind of dip into VivTech. Like, I want to know what it is that you guys want to talk about and what the whole idea is behind VivTech. And whoever wants to go, please go ahead.
So VivTech is kind of like I was talking about with Zilla. I wanted to see a company that put their money back into the hobby, cared about conservation, cared about growing the industry, cared about putting out good products, and I was able to do that with them for a while. And I haven't totally announced this, but I'm telling people now. But I no longer am the brand manager of Zilla. I left that position in January of this year. I still consult with Zilla. I'm still a contract consultant with them, so I still work with them a little bit. But it kind of gave me the space to do something that I've always wanted to do, and have the support of Erica to kind of help me run and do this together. And nice. I wanted to bring one of the problems I saw with like the big brands is when they're going through pet stores, it's when you see the whole process, you start to see how many ways it could be fixed and how you could start getting products. I could get cooler technology to entry-level people at a fraction of the price that these big companies can. And just because of understanding the processes and knowing how to do it. So that's kind of where I got stuck. I'm like, there's all this cool stuff I want to do, but I can't do it because it just didn't fit what Zilla was. And Zilla really is aimed at beginner, entry level, still intermediate, but at the same, very entry level keepers. And that's understandable. If you're a giant company, you have shareholders, you have to make a big brand, you have to make money. You can't just sell a couple racks at a show here and there or something. You have to have big products. So I totally understand why. But that just eventually was just not what I wanted. So right. when I stepped down this year and went to kind of a part-time consulting, it gave us the time to start looking at what we wanted to do. And I told Eric, I said, I want to change the hobby. I want to keep changing herpeticulture, and I want to drive it in a better direction. And I want to keep seeing it move that way. And I think that the products are how that's happening. Whatever products are available for you to care for your animals is going to guide how well you can care for your animals. So the better technology and innovation that's out there, the better opportunities you have to do better. So I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to bring herpeticulture ahead 20 years where it should be.
Wow.
And see if we can't bring, and then on top of it, use that organization and use that equipment and things like that to bring back conservation and tie the hobby to caring about conservation too. Like, it doesn't have to be separate. Like, you don't have to either be against or for it. Like, if you love reptiles in captivity, you'll love that they're out in the wild too. I don't know anybody who I can be like, dude, you want to go to Australia and see Parentes? They would be like, no, I only want to keep it in a box. I really don't want to see one outside. Like, no one's gonna do that. We love reptiles in all forms. So, like, you like that. Why wouldn't you want to go protect all of them? You know?
Oh my god, that's okay. That's just a taste on how Ryan can make people feel stupid. Like if you really have that mentality.
But it's just that like different way. If you think about it, you know, like you love them everywhere, so we should support them everywhere. And if the hobby is taking animals out of the wild, then we should be doing it in a way that's managed, it's supported. I hunt, I love it. Like I don't have a problem with anybody that even hunts reptiles as long as it's a thing that's permitted, you know, licenses, and you have it's.
How the hell do you hunt reptiles?
People that hunt snakes and turtles and stuff. Turtle soup. I'll get you back into the backwoods, baby. I'll show you how to kill some stuff needed. No, but like, I thought that there should be more continuity between husbandry needed to be better. We needed more innovation. We needed to be tied with conservation. We need to bring back that relationship with zoos. We're all the same: biologists, scientists, veterinarians, hobbyists, zookeepers, all of it. We're all the same animal nerds. We've just been separated by a lot of
bullshit,
really, and a lot of crap, and it's tearing apart how amazing we could be as a one unified or bigger group. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to see happen, and this is kind of the big step to do that.
And maybe you could. I already thought of this. It's kind of a no brainer, but like I want to hear it from fucking you guys yourselves. But fuck, okay, it's the biggest chain like Petco, like you know, PetSmart, all that shit. Like, why don't they give a fuck? Like, why aren't they like? I mean, is it because they'd rather us not keep animals and they make all the money, or like why don't they ever fucking mention or have a U.S. art flyer at their fucking store or something like that? Like, I'm just curious.
So this is a way bigger question, to be honest. Like I could get into it another time. I'll give you the cliff notes of what I can, but we can get into a way deeper conversation.
Why is it because you can't talk too much on it? Is that kind of like?
It's like. So,
because you told me you could talk about anything. I asked you.
Okay. No, for real. Like, no, Petco and PetSmart, like I've been to their corporate headquarters. I've talked to the people that are there.
Okay.
They truly do give a crap. They really do.
All right.
What ends up happening and why keepers get so frustrated with Petcos is it literally comes down to who's managing that store and whether they care or not. This idea and the rumor out there that like they have all these corporate guidelines that won't let you take care of the animals properly is complete bullshit. I know that. I can literally call someone right now and get their book, like their handbook. It's not a thing. But they do have they have to stick within some standards, because obviously, like, you don't want one of your keepers or one of your, you know, employees to be like, no, I've totally taken care of all that stuff, and then they flip it upside down and kill it all. Like, so it's within reason. But anyway, they are selling animals, and then what people do with that and how much they research and what they do when they go home, no one at any reptile show has any control over that. They just sell more stuff than than people at a reptile show do. But that's really what it is. They do care. They're not supporting USARC, but they are all supporting PJAC, which is the Pet Industry Joint Advisory Council. So I'm on the reptile subcommittee for that, and that works very closely in conjunction with USARC. And there's Petco representatives or PetSmart representatives on there as well. So, like, they do care. It's just we have to understand that things are, like, stuff is a little different, man. Like, if you sell 10 animals, like 20 animals this year, you probably have a good idea where they're at. People have them. But, like, you can't control if that animal gets sold again or somebody sucks at keeping it or whether they even know what they're doing and they just gave you a bunch of BS. Like, you know, and that's the thing. If you're a store and you're putting out 10 animals a week, like, that becomes a bigger thing. Like, they can't be responsible for what people do afterwards. But they do send them home with care sheets. They do try and give them the best information they can. What's funny to me, and this is a little bit of a side note, though, is everybody wants to get, like, I see all these petitions of people going, Petco and PetSmart shouldn't sell live animals anymore. The day that happens, mark it on your calendar. Within 2 years, the entire reptile industry will be gone.
Wow.
100%, because all the major manufacturers, 50% or more of their income comes from those two chains. And if they lose half of their income, then, you know, Zilla's not going to keep making tanks and enclosures and stuff if they have half the income and half of the places they can go to. Then on top of it, it'll start a huge spiral of animals available. it'll be the end of the hobby. We need them there. They get more people into the hobby than any of us ever could.
They're actually kind of like Big Ag. They're what supports everything. They're what
Yeah,
keeps everything.
they're
going.
like if you want to see them as an evil, they're a very necessary one, and they it's just reality.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you this because obviously, you know, where we're at right now, you know, with USR, you know, I could tell you what, since the time I've been in this industry, this has been the year where they're posting shit. Well, I mean, USR just now has an Instagram. So if you really weren't on their thing, you really don't know the updates of what's been going on. But this shit's been scary from what I've seen, bro. Like, you know, like shit's hitting kind of the fan. But is it kind of getting regulated now? But what, I mean, where we at from what you guys see? I want to know.
People are just getting complacent. They're getting placated again. It's very similar to. I'm bringing it up. I'm sorry. It's very similar to like pandemic situation where it didn't go away, but people are just really tired of hearing about it, and you bring it up, and people are like clicking off that channel right now. It's the same thing that happens with USR, honestly. If they keep harping on the same thing over and over again, people eventually start tuning out that message because they're tired of it. It's the same thing over and over again, and they're just done, and they don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah.
They consider it all scare tactics, or it's just, it's all negative.
Yeah, that's part of it, and then just the other part of like, part of people not listening about and supporting USARC is they just don't care.
That's also true.
Hey, what's crazy, guys? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Erica, but that's what motivated me to want to pay as much as I possibly can, because there's people who've been in this way longer than I have, right? And not only have I never heard them fucking mention it not once out of their mouth, but that could only mean they've never contributed, you know? But they're making how much money a year off this industry? And not only that, they're fucking making how much money off, you know, I don't want to just say ball python morphs, but yeah, ball python morphs. What the fuck? But they're just making a killing, you know what I mean? And it's just not enough for speaking up. And it's like crazy that you have fucking people like Cusco who have to do a YouTube fucking rant and like call people out. And I'm not gonna lie, that's what made me look at my finances and says, okay, what can I really do to help USARC? But honestly, that's all I needed to see. Because if you are really about the animals and you don't want to fucking help the fight, like this is a fight for our shit. Like, and you're just like being that fat fucking lazy, nothing wrong with fat people. You know what I'm saying? But you're just being that lazy person who are just watching everyone else work and everyone's pushing, and you're just like, well, we're fine.
Dude, like
cigar, whatever.
The NRA has out of all of the people that own guns in the United States and are only like 9% of them are members of the NRA. Mm-hmm. Like USARC, we're closer to like probably 0.01% of reptile keepers are members of USARC, if that.
And it's the exact same thing. All the people who own guns in the country are like, you can't take our guns. Nobody wants their guns taken. Reptile keepers are the exact same way. None of us want our reptiles taken away. None of us want our exotics taken away. But unfortunately, it's one of those where we have to fight the same exact battle that, not to bring it back if y'all are against the NRA or anything like that, but fighting that same uphill battle of trying to get people to join and say, hey, we can't fight that battle. We can't protect your ability to keep these without that. And there is no law that says you have the legal right to keep an animal. There is no guarantee that you have the ability to keep an animal. The only reason you can keep an animal is legitimately because there is nothing in your city that says you can't keep it. That is the only damn reason that you can keep an animal where you live.
And you're saying that could change any day.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I deal with that. That's one thing.
And without you knowing.
That's one thing. Even
with the type of a fucking letter, with the type of a done.
Dude, with MHS, we do so much trying to stop ordinances within every city in Wisconsin. We it's every year. It's every year there's at least a half dozen that come up with something, and it's incredible how difficult it is to just get people to show up. Like, I'll do all the talking. I just need you to sit up and fill seats.
Well,
just show up and fill seats.
Look what happened with Florida. With Florida, that was the exact same thing. There was a whole bunch of things. Everybody had an open forum, everything like that. people thought it was actually going to be like a whole process. It turned out that's not what it was. It was just something that got signed in. It wasn't even like a whole legislation that had to pass. They just voted and it was it. That was legitimately it. It wasn't like the whole process. It was just, yeah, no, we want it. We can do it anyway. So you guys challenged it. Here we go. Like, that's all it was. And that can happen in anybody's township. That's why Phil's fight and US Arc's fight is such an uphill battle, and us not even contributing, and not us, because I'm assuming everybody in this chat that's typing so epically right now is contributing.
It better be. Shoot, all my viewers contribute.
Right?
That's going to be my new question to anybody that has a question for me at any show ever.
You
They come up and they're like, hey, Ryan, I'm going to go, whoa. You remember US Arc? No? Piss off.
Well, that's the problem, is that it also got considered, it became a polarizing issue too, because then it became a political issue of, well, you can't tell me to be a member, or I don't want to be a member. And then some people felt that USARC wasn't working fast enough, so they wanted to create their own group and try and take it on themselves. But then they were pulling donations away from the other organization that actually needed it, was established and can fight, because nobody's going to fight better than Phil. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, honestly, like, when it comes to US Arc, either be a member or get rid of your damn animals. That's the way I look at it. You are either part of the solution or you're the problem. So if you're a member of US Arc and you give them $5 a month, you're a part of the solution. If you don't, then you're a prick. And you should just get rid of your animals, get out of the hobby, and leave it for other people who give a shit.
Yep.
There's zero people. I was
I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry, but this is just, I love it. Like, it's so raw. It's just like, and I admire when somebody speaks from the heart on this fucking channel instead of just me all the time. So thank you. But it's just like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just continue. It's just so true, man. Because, but here's the thing though, man. It's I mean, because Ryan, you've been around, bro. Yeah, I mean, I know you know the big names of the big names, and you probably have an idea on what kind of names I'm thinking of people who just don't give a fuck about contributing to US Arc, right? And like, what do you think? Like, do you think that's ever going to change, or like, what do you think? Like, what's the hope in this for us? You think is it the new keepers coming in?
I hope so. You know what? In reality, all the OGs of herpeticulture
need to step it the fuck up.
Yeah, well,
no, they do. They need to step the fuck up, and they need to set the tone.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you. You just
sorry.
Somebody's
Tiger got out the cage. Tiger got out the cage.
The USR thing is a really hot button issue for me on
it's all good.
This whole situation.
No, it really is, because like they're stuck in their ways. They're stuck in the mentality of like, you come and take my reptiles out of my cold dead hands. Well, dude, when an actual police team shows up with like Fish and Wildlife and stuff, that's what will happen. Like, you might think you're a badass until you get shot in the chest with a beanbag and they tackle you. Like, that's not how it'd have to go. But if they want to, they can. Like, if it gets to that point.
That's right. That's like best case scenario. Nowadays they're just shooting motherfuckers. So I just, here's my animals. I'm sorry.
It's this mentality that like, we've done this forever. We're gonna always do it, and we'll just go underground and blah 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 or whatever. Or they've been doing it that way forever, so they just keep doing it that way. That's why husbandry hasn't moved that far forward. To be totally honest, look at what we keep our animals in compared to the first aquariums that were ever made. They're not that different. We haven't done that much.
Ooh, we actually figured it out. There is. Ready for this shit? It's a little bit of a tangent, but that's because I have ADD too. So high five from here. So it actually goes with new keepers. You have like your basic cage set up, and then you go into like your intermediate keepers who are like, yeah, this stuff is really, really cool, and we want to keep growing. And then they're getting really advanced into the hobby, and then they actually like invest. And then you get like your slightly more advanced, and they're like, yeah, we're like actually like at this peak here, and we're like looking over, and we're like, we could actually climb to the top of that hill. And they're the ones that are getting like the hardcore enclosures. They're getting the best lighting. They're getting the misting systems. Like, they're really doing the investment. They're who people should be looking for. They're on US Arc. They're actually doing these things, and they're setting the tone. And then you get the experts, the OG keepers, and then it goes, Pew! And now
You
we
can
have
put
the
that snake in a
do-it-yourselfers.
jar, just punch 3 holes in it, and keep it near
And then
the
we
vent.
go right back to basic. And it's like this hill.
Keep it dry for 4 days. The bumps will go away.
Yeah. Just stab it with Baytril, it'll be fine.
Oh
Did I
my
tell you about
god.
bathtub Baytril? Somebody was telling me they were trying to make bathtub Baytril, and they were actually getting the ingredients from different
Crazy.
places across the world.
Yeah,
From
Like
eBay.
there's definitely a time to be a McGyver when it comes to being a reptile guy, like a reptile keeper. We all find little rigged up ways to do things here and there.
Oh, absolutely.
But then there's also times when, like, you know, maybe for nutrition and like UV lighting, get good stuff, you know, because they die otherwise. Like, that's kind of important.
Okay, so with that being said, guys, what is one thing you feel like needs to be the biggest turnaround with the US ARC thing? Now, this could go to any new keeper, season keeper to advanced keeper, but and Erica, by all means.
Go. You go first. I'll just scream after.
No, honestly, what needs to happen is people need to stop looking at US ARC as some kind of thing that always needs funding and we always got to fight. Because the reality is, I'll tell you what, the people we're fighting make 201 of those groups, HSUS, Humane Society of the United States, makes $200 million a year to fight us. Their whole existence is to raise $200 million a year to stop you from keeping reptiles. And by trying to stop you, makes them more money. So there's no reason for them to ever stop until we can shut them down enough where they make it where they start losing money. And if they keep losing money, they'll change their target. But until that happens, we're just going to keep getting it over and over and over again. So everybody needs to stop looking at US ARC as this thing we have to keep doing and look at it as your dues. Like,
Yeah.
I went into engineering to be in this organization that I would go watch one lecture a month, and I got a book once every year. It cost me like $1,200 a year to be a part of that organization, and it did nothing for me. I mean, they like did some standards and things with engineering. Beneficial, not giant. US ARC, dude, that's $5 a month. That's a fucking joke. If you can't, like, I was homeless, I could afford $5 a month.
That's a road. That's a road.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
what-
Amazon things.
that's one rat. Like,
A month. One
yeah,
rat a month.
I'm pretty sure you can. Every single person can handle that. You put it on auto pay, you walk away, and then that is now helping to support what you're doing and what you're passionate about. Everything around us in our house, every cage, every light fixture, animal, anything to do with any reptile that exists in this house only continues to exist because US ARC is still fighting for us. Because guess what? No one else out there that's bitching about it is doing a goddamn thing. You're all people that complain. That's the one thing. You know what? Anybody who's like, US ARC doesn't help us, ask them what they're doing to help us.
Right.
Nothing. They're just bitching. They're all keyboard warriors. Like, they do nothing. So yeah, be around the people. If you want, you can be around people like that, or you can be around people who do shit and get shit done. And those people all support US ARC. So pick your side, man. That's how it goes.
And for the record, HSUS is not associated with your local humane societies. So please do not remove funding from your local humane societies, which are actually animal shelters.
Yeah, basically,
and
if you see a
not
commercial with
supported
Sarah
by
McLachlan,
animals.
it's not actually going to animals.
No,
It's a
those
con-
humane
yeah, it's a
societies are not associated. For the love of God, people, not associated. But no, that needs to be a requirement. And
Do it. Do it.
I'm
Get
trying
angry.
not. I'm trying not to be that bitch. Jesus.
No, be
Well, no, because
Hey,
we
hey,
always
listen,
get
being
labeled as
being
bitchy.
real. I get called an asshole for being real. So just do it. Just be you. Just say
Yeah,
it.
the women get called bitch and catty over it. So, with it, when it comes to any reptile podcaster, any reptile YouTuber, any reptile breeder that is advertising themselves in any way, shape, and or form needs to have a membership, and they need to have like some kind of a fucking way, like a registry that is like, yes, we're on this thing and this is what we are. You're gonna call yourself a fucking reptile podcaster, you need to be on this registry of US ARC reptile podcaster. Here we go, we pay this much a month. Like, you don't even need to say what it is, just we're on here, we're paying monthly. And it needs to be on USARK's thing as a call out that these are breeders, these are rodent suppliers, these are insect suppliers, these are product suppliers.
Wait, hold on, Erica. Am I good?
Do
Is this?
it.
Am I okay? Am I good with this? Okay.
You're good.
But there really needs
Continue.
to be a way to do it. There needs to be a way to hold the accountability. And part of the problem is that, and I understand why we don't do it, because it's hard for USARK to do it. Because if they polarize too much, they will lose support. And there is the fear that if they call out and say, hey, every YouTuber, every podcaster, you back us, you need to say it. We're going to put you on, we're going to put you on our site and we're going to call you out for it.
Right.
Great. The only problem with that is that it becomes a little bit more of a polarizing issue. Who the fuck cares? I'm sorry. If you are such a jackass that you won't buy from a place because they support USARK, you should have known Reptiles. I don't want to do business with you. If you don't want to support USARK because it's a mandatory thing or you have to feel like you have to support them or what do they do, I don't want to do business with you. And that's just plain and simple.
Yeah, that kind of needs to be a shift in the way that we think as keepers too. And we just need to, as anybody that's really in the hobby or is in like all the big breeders, everything.
You think it's a pride thing at this point? You feel like people are like, they know they should fucking support, but they're just like, well, I haven't supported this whole time and I just don't want to now. Like, do you feel like it's just probably about them having pride over it, you think?
Could be, but to be totally honest, it's complacency. Everybody in the country is complacent as hell.
I think
Look
it's
at how
a
our
false
government
sense of
works.
security, to be honest.
Like, everything is complacent. And it's that too. Like, nah, it won't happen to me. How many people like, oh, it's not the ball pythons, don't worry about it. It's the retake guys. Okay, it's the frog guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the salamander. It's not me. It's not a big deal. But it's like, and it's just, we're destined to continuously fight the same crap with that every single
And
time.
to be honest, we don't have any role models. I take that back. We do have role models, but we don't have big industry role models that are shoving it down our throat continuously. We don't have it set as a standard. We have it as a push, a campaign for likes. We have it as a push and a campaign for attention. We don't have it as a standard for our good business and the pillars of our community, which should be our podcasters, our YouTubers, our suppliers. That's not, and our breeders. That's not who's doing it. And the only times they do it is when something horrible happens, unfortunately. And then they do it like, well, I'm a member. Are you a member? Ta-da! I should have a gold star. Well, great. Good job. I'm so proud of you. Tap on your nuts. Like, what do you want?
Ow.
She doesn't get how those work. That would be
No,
a bad
I'm
thing.
sorry. If that's the only time
It's
you're
not
telling,
a tap on the back.
no, if that's the only time you're telling me you're a fucking USARK member, you're getting a tap on the nuts. That's it.
God. She's on fire.
This is one of those where Ryan usually just goes, and he'll play Call of Duty and then listen to me scream about it.
Yep.
All right.
What are you doing, Ryan? I'm just building a building in my game.
Finding some wool.
Right? Do you agree? Whatever you say, honey.
That sounds good. I like that thing you said.
Yeah, I agree with that one for sure.
Yep.
Sign me up.
Would you like me to call Phil so you can scream at him now? No.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I'll be working with Phil on and a couple other people around the country on a couple things coming up in the next year because I think I get like 4 hours of sleep and that's just lazy. So I think we're going to start another international nonprofit working on standards and husbandry and best management practices and stuff. So
Beautiful.
see if we can't find USARK kind of a counterpart that brings up
4 hours of sleep is dumb.
but like just brings up the standards and best management practices of what we should expect from ourselves as reptile keepers.
Now, let me ask you if we could revert back to VivTech real quick. What is going to be the?
Oh, that's why we're here.
It's fine. No, it's all good. Listen, this needed to be said, so I'm glad. But really, if we could kind of talk about what the game plan is, like let's just say for the shows to come, like what do you have planned in store for the upcoming shows as far as being there, set up, having VivTech and stuff like that?
So we're launching nut taps. If you come by the booth, Erica will nut tap every one of you. That's and if you buy if you buy some of our products, she won't. There you go. Now if you
But it's a butt slap.
Yeah, then you get slapped on the ass.
There you go.
which I'm totally cool with. She can slap all the
I'm
ass
gonna
you
get
want.
removed from our first show from sexual harassment within like an hour.
No, so we're launching at Schaumburg. Just as kind of a nod to the US Arc thing. That's one thing, again, because me and Erica kind of continuously feel that people should put their money where their mouth is. So as we talk about like sponsoring US Arc and all the conservation work and stuff that we like, this company, 10% of the profit is going to be split between US Arc and US Arc Florida, and then the other 5% is going to go to a long list of conservation organizations. So when you go buy products off the website and you check out,
Which is not live yet. Please don't go and try and use the website
after
yet.
the 19th when it goes live. If you go
Nice.
check out, when you check out, it'll give you a list of nonprofit like conservation organizations. You can click on them and learn more about them, and then you can pick which one you want your the portion of your purchase to go to.
So actually, that brings up a
Awesome.
really good point. Since this is the first live one that we're doing, I think if your audience would like to submit suggestions for 501c3,
Good reptile nonprofits.
reptile-
Who do we want to
not
conservation,
nonprofit,
conservation organizations.
and it can international or domestic. Absolutely feel free to, and we'll put them. We'll take
Drop
them
those in the
consideration
comment.
depending on.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
good shit.
Yeah, so we're launching on at Schaumburg, so you get to see all of our products. So first, we're bringing a lot more to the table than this, but because of the time frame, we're launching some of our biggest, coolest stuff at Schaumburg. And the first thing that we're gonna launch, like you know me, I'm nuts for lighting. Everything I touch is lighting. Like that's one of the biggest places. That's one of the biggest downfalls of herpeticulture is people don't understand lighting. And it's lighting and nutrition. All the rest of it is pretty good. If we can fix UV and nutrition, we'll be miles ahead of where we are now. But UV hasn't changed really in the past like 30 years. So I thought, like, how cool would that be if we totally like took the industry and flipped it on its head and came out with something new? So so this right here is a bulb.
You should clean the
I know.
camera. Wait, hold on.
With 5 LED. There, you can't see it.
No, it's all blurry. Hold on.
Apparently, our am I prettier now?
Oh, it's pretty.
Aw. Dude, this is a bulb that's 5 LEDs. Those 3 gold ones in the middle are UVB emitting LEDs.
Turn it downward.
Yeah, where the glare is.
It looks good. I can see it.
And then the other two, but the other 2 are UVA and 6500K plant growth lights. So this is true LED UVB bulbs, and this bulb actually projects usable UV up to 36 inches away,
Wow.
and it's 3 watts.
36 inches away. So that's more than 2 feet. That's awesome.
That's 3 feet, man.
That's awesome.
And it's 3 watts. It produces no UVC at all, which all the other forms of UV bulbs that we have produce UVC. This doesn't, which is it's bad for your animals. That exist in the market. And then the other thing is, on top of it, dude, this bulb will emit UV for 4 years. So all of the bulbs are going to have a 2-year warranty.
Mm-hmm. And it is awesome. So after, how long have we been testing this bulb, Ryan?
About 6 months.
Yeah, no, for continuous hours.
For over 2,000 hours, which is about a year's worth of bulb life. It hasn't gone down at all.
Yeah, that was our second, not this bulb. That was our other bulb that we're testing because we're on the next phase of testing for one of the other bulbs that we're going to be releasing. And we still haven't changed any of the UVB strength.
Yeah.
Wow.
So wait a minute. Do you mean that we don't have to change out our UVB bulbs every 6 to 12 months?
She's good at this. She should make a commercial.
But Ryan, how will I ever be able to tell if I'm wasting my UVB?
So, on top of it, one of the other things with UV lighting is you kind of never know if your UV bulb is good or not unless you have a solar meter. So, hold on. So everybody has these, but this thing is $250, right? So it's not something accessible to everybody. Like
they are awesome, though.
They're great. Everyone should have one.
We have 4.
Yeah, we have a lot of them. But now you don't have to spend $250, and we got one that's about half the price.
Wow.
With
So-
some
Epic.
seriously baller packaging, people.
Oh yeah, Erica designed all this packaging.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
But yeah, so
that looks
Yeah.
sick. Look how it opens up. That's awesome.
that's a UV meter, and it's going to be about half the price of a solar meter. So people have it's easier access to that. You can actually check your bulbs. You don't have to check ours because they last 4 years and they're not going to fall apart and be crappy. But if you have other companies' bulbs that don't do that because no other other companies have LEDs, so you can just go use all theirs. Then you need this to make sure that it produces enough UVB for your animal to actually use.
Not only that, but at 6 months, you're not guaranteed to know if that bulb that they say you have to replace at 6 months actually needs to be replaced at 6 months. It may have needed to be replaced at 6 months, like a month in. Just saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're going to have at Schaumburg that we're very excited about, can I tell them?
Yeah.
Is we're going to have the opportunity for, if you don't believe us about the UVB, which we don't blame you, and
said
this is
you were
something that, I know.
You're totally in pitch mode right now.
I know.
should just
I love
give
it.
you
Go ahead.
yeah.
This is what.
I
this
could
is
go
what
back to
we record.
screaming harpy. What do you want? You can choose one way or the other. But if you don't believe us about the UVB, and we don't believe you for not believing us about the UVB, because everybody talks about how amazing theirs are, and there are some companies out there which will actually put your animal into an animal hospital. We know. Then,
Exoterra, by the way, if you use their coils, they don't produce enough UVB to your animal to actually use. What? It's true. Anyway, keep going.
anyway,
I completely missed what he said. If you want to repeat it, that'd be great.
Don't. I have independent research to prove it. I'm not saying. Don't buy extra
Anyway.
bulbs.
anyway.
Exoterra? Bulb.
MJ,
Sorry.
really?
I'm
Bad
done.
news.
I will wait until you get here and then throw a flip flop at your
I'm
head. You
done.
know I will.
I'm done. I'm done.
Anyway, so when you come to our booth, we will actually have it set up where you'll be able to screw in any UVB bulb that you have purchased, whether it's one of our bulbs or somewhere else. We'll even open the frickin' bulb for you if it's one of those clamshell ones, because everybody has clamshell ones now. You can plug it in, and we'll test it for you. And you can test it out against one of our bulbs, and you can see if it's working. You can see how much UV generates just from turning it on. Technically, in order to get a stable UVB reading, you need to leave your UVB light on for 5 minutes. So that's to get a stable reading. Every time you retest, it has to be on for 5 minutes. We're willing to actually just test the bulbs right out of the box so that you can see what it looks like without having to do a warm-up cycle.
Yeah, we're basically going to bring a display that allows you to plug in your own bulbs against ours and hand you all the solar meters and stuff, and you can test it right there in our
So we'll give you ours, we'll give you solar mirror, be like, go.
Can I say something? Because I'm a little sick in my stomach. I'm not gonna lie. I can't just skip over this Exoterra thing, okay? Because here's the thing. all my UVBs are Exoterra. I'm nervous now. What do I do?
Replace
Are you
them.
on Reptile? Wait, what kind of, are you on Reptile? Jesus. What kind of, are you on Lizards?
Yeah, monitors. Please
Well,
help me. Can you guys help me?
Monitors aren't as bad. So what's really cool with monitors is there's 2 different ways that animals can get D3. So, or that they can use the D3 to convert over to calcium. So they can get the D3 through actually utilizing the UVB light, and then they can also get the D3 through dietary. So carnivores typically will get it through dietary because they're eating like the liver, some of the other organ meats, and then some of the other red meats. Monitors fall into that category, although they cannot survive on that solely in captivity generally. If they're being fed like turkey balls and insects, they do need to have UVB then. So if you're not feeding whole prey, then you would need to work on your UVB. But if you have whole prey, then you can get away with a weaker UVB. Or if they're getting a lot of outdoor lighting.
Yeah, basically all you need to do is take out all your Exoterras and replace them with literally any other company. Zoomed, Exoterra,
I was trying
Arcade.
so hard.
It's not hard to just say they don't put out enough UV for your animals to use. They're not good bulbs. They're cheap. So if you want to get better bulbs,
Look.
use Zilla bulbs
I don't want to have to
Super
say it, but right
Bowl.
there. Can you guys just do this for me?
You can come and pick up some bulbs.
You
when
can
out.
come. You can swing by our booth.
Also,
Perfect.
when you guys come and swing by the booth, we are giving away some freebies. Now, Brian, when you go to shows, what
It's
kind
like
of
I'm in
freebies?
a Billy Mays infomercial.
I know, so suck it up. We haven't got me. Oh, it's either that or we start screaming.
Erica McVeigh here.
Yes. Hello, Brian.
No, so
Wow.
So anybody that comes by the booth and purchases a bulb or something this weekend, we're gonna give them one of these. I thought this was pretty cool. So this is a propagation station. So
Whoa, that's sick.
right, stands up, put your little plant in it, and grow plant clippings and crap. Like I've seen them before. So I had a friend of custom make them for us. So.
Maz's design.
Yeah, Maz's designs. They'll actually be at Schaumburg too with all his CNC flags and cool stuff. So they helped me design this, and then we're gonna hand them out with everybody that purchases stuff, and then.
And if you want a freebie, you can get a snake bag. We're
Yeah,
handing out really nice snake bags.
I also took a look at, and this is something that unfortunately isn't going to be here in time for the show, but that was another. So we're looking at a lot of the places where the hobby is like, I feel it's weak, or it could be stronger, and. For snake bags, that's kind of one of them. We all use like socks and dirty pillowcases or those cheap crap.
Right.
Not
Who
we.
uses socks? Oh,
We
now
use
you
pillowcases.
use
We have tons of crappy old
Who
dirty
uses
pillowcases.
socks?
Other people in the hobby, you need to watch the internet more. But no, people do that, right? So like,
Oh shit.
or the bags, the snake bags that are sold are this thin, crappy material. They food
rough.
soaks. It's rough. The little strings come out of it all the time. So I found a real, like, basically, dude, the bag that like your lady gets her Gucci bag in, her purse or shoes, that kind of a material, that cotton, thicker material. It's
Right.
like that, but it's also got a bunch of other really cool features on it that make it basically the next level of what a snake bag could be.
Nice.
So we got some of that stuff coming, and then but the first round of them that came through were we had a couple like weird misprints and stuff, and we're like, you know what, we're just gonna give these ones out and let everybody have these ones for free. So we'll be handing those out at the show too. And then on top of it, we're doing where did it go? It was right here.
There's stickers.
Okay,
I have to
so
ask. Wait, I have to ask too. Will you have any animals set up at the show? Because that's just curious.
we actually won't. I don't have any of the
Okay.
animals with me.
And we will not have animals ever at the VivTech booth because it's not about having animals there. We want people to focus on the products and not on actual animals.
Respect.
Also, if I don't need to take my animals out of their homes when they're all comfy, I don't. But the other thing we're doing with the bags is this. Like this, dude, this is just a freaking. It's like
Elastic.
It's a Velcro cable tie.
Or Velcro. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we just stuck our brand on it, and it's going to come with all the snake bags, and now you can use it as a zip tie, but it's reusable. So
Reusable. Think about it. It's reusable.
and everybody should be zip tying their snake bags shut, stuff like that. You know, it's a precaution we all should be doing. Well, now you don't have to. You can use this. The next guy that gets it can use it and send it on. Same thing. We can just put out there more reusable stuff that's not just going to get chucked or thrown out.
And one of the other things that we are providing with every single one, not with every single one of the snake bags, including the ones that we're giving out at Schaumburg, are stickers. So one of the labels, can you go grab one of the labels so I don't have to get up?
Yeah.
Because, the laziness.
Yeah.
Is we're going to give out labels. So everybody who has ever used a snake bag has had the misfortune of like writing on it what it is and then
Right.
scratching it out and then rewriting it. So we've designed snake bag labels. And the snake bags, the tags, and the cables can all be customized too if you're a breeder. And each one of these is going to be a sticker that you can actually put on. It's an actual heavy-duty vinyl sticker. And it's not like a cheap, crappy one. It's a really nice one that you write down the information, you stick it onto the bag of the snake, and then you can actually take it off and then put it into your records. You can either stick it onto the enclosure of that animal for like a quarantine rack, put it onto a note card, put it into a binder, however you're keeping that information, so that you have it, or if you're transporting multiple animals back with you. And again, we're going to be customizing a lot of this. A lot of what we're doing also, where my passion in these projects are coming, Ryan is really passionate about bringing like the new, newer technology and just like innovating a lot of it. and I'm right there with him on it. But a huge part of what I'm really passionate about with this is honestly just knocking down some of that gatekeeping bullshit that occurred
Right.
between the generations,
Yeah.
and making the information accessible, and
Right.
making it easier for breeders to get back the good name of being a breeder. Because I don't know how many of you guys are breeders out there on this. I'm assuming a whole bunch of you, but there's a stigma, and there's a legit
Yeah, we're all
stigma
puppy mills.
that if you go to a breeder for information, it's like, ooh, why did you go to the breeder for information? You should have gone to like this website, or you should have gone to this Facebook group. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, that's a Facebook
super
group of other
judgy.
breeders.
Yeah.
Super judgy.
So when you do something like our UVB meter, we're going to have UVB facts in here. That's in an infographic that's laminated, and it's going to be an awesome slick that's laminated, which is going to be a pain in my ass, but it's going to be something that's going to be an infographic, and then on the back, it's going to have just the zones, the Ferguson zones. So what the different zones are, and then where your animal sits. So if you have a green iguana, what zone does it need to be in? If you have a leopard gecko, what kind does it need to be in? And it's not like a sales pitch, it's just telling you good.
The information that
husbandry.
most people don't know about UV bulbs, and putting it in a quick infographic so people can understand better why that bulb's important.
Exactly. And then we're going to make that available too for people to have. And if you're a breeder, we're going to make, or even a pet store, a small pet store. We're not making it available to Petco, PetSmart, or anything like that. You have to be a small independent pet store. Like we're looking at you, Animal House, Sim Iguana Go. But those are the ones that we want to really like work with and create custom ones where it's their logo, their information on the bottom of it, so that they can hand it out to their customers, and now they are the resource. They're the one that's handing out that leopard gecko, being like, hey, you just bought this, Cyclora from me. Great. Here's this UVB info thing. Or, hey, you just bought this baby turtle from me or whatever. Here's this infographic for you on UVB and why it's important. Stick it on your damn fridge.
Yeah, the front lines of who introduces the hobby to people is pet stores and then breeders and stuff it shows, and that's the people we need to get. We need to help them get better information to do better with their customers.
And that's where that's my big passion project right now. His passion project is getting the technology to them. My passion project is taking that technology and that information and making it into easily digestible pieces that we can get out to them and make everybody a resource. Take back the good name of breeder, damn it.
I want to bring up the next topic real quick, okay, guys? Because I want your guys' insight on this, or what your guys' point of view is. But what do you think the import? What do you think? What happened? What'd you say, Erica?
I said, please God, don't let it be PETA.
No, we're not. I don't want to. Well, I mean, this could be either good or bad, but I want to hear it. But what do you think the import game is doing to the industry? Like, what's your guys' insight on like people who, like I said, I'll tell you one thing, Ryan, is this channel is primarily a ball python based channel, right? But so many people are interested in chondros and emeralds and all sorts of shit. And now when they're like, oh wow, this is expensive, where can I get one cheaper? Oh wow, king snake form, that's awesome. And you know what I mean? So what do you guys think about imports and importers and all that shit?
So honestly, importation is going to continue to be a big part of the industry for a long time, and it's actually an important part whether you like it or not, dude. I have a ton of wild caught imports at my house, and so do you. Like all the crazy Indo stuff.
Bagel,
like,
yeah,
Bagel
that
you want to
so
steal.
Much.
Yeah, she ain't going nowhere.
But she's an import.
Import baby,
Damn it. Hey, wait, real quick. Hey, you want to know something funny? Because it's one thing that Ryan asked for if I had, and I didn't know at the time. He's like, dude, I need males. I really need males. And I was like, I don't know if I have males. Bro, I sexed everything. Guess how many males I have? 6. I have 6 males. So if you still need one, I'll probably give you one.
All 6 of yours are males?
No, I don't have. I have more than 6. I have 11.
Did you just like guess before?
I just never I had somebody who actually came and helped me probe, and I'm like, dude, we have to do all my Timors. Like we got to do everything, and everything. The females I thought I had were the males, and everything flipped around. So I have 5 females and 6 males.
Dang. Yeah,
well, actually, 6 isn't bad because they do battle. So 6 males isn't bad.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, if you ever do need one, it is looking a lot more feasible now. So just so you know.
It would be a lot cooler if I didn't just buy another male. Thanks.
Like literally.
Little late.
Like 2 months ago, yeah, I got another nice.
No,
like,
he's been here for a while.
yeah, no, I grabbed a nice. Dude, it was one that somebody bought as a baby 7 years ago, and it was their only animal. The thing is gorgeous.
Yeah. And like, I if you don't mind, wait, are we done talking about the imports, or did you want to capitalize more on that?
I don't really even talk about it. We can talk
They're
about
not
imports
going
if you
anywhere.
want to know, but
They're
they're
not
not going
bad.
anywhere. They're sticking around. It's not bad, but people need to
Legal imports are good.
People need to understand that if you are bringing in an import, it's going to have more health issues. It's going to be dehydrated. You need to understand how to take what.
Sorry, ADD.
Yeah.
What'd she say?
She said ADD. She has ADD, so every 2 minutes she cuts me off to tell me something, and yeah, it's just my wife. It's my life, man. But no, like importation isn't a bad thing as long as it's done right. So pay attention to the people you're buying from. I mean, there's guys that literally bring stuff in. It comes out of the box. It goes onto a table at a show. It's half dead, dehydrated, nasty. Don't buy from those guys. Try and find animals that look healthy. Make sure they're tongue flicking if they're snakes. Make sure that you understand that animal needs to be brought home. It needs to be hydrated. It's probably going to need to see a vet within the first week. They're going to have to treat it for some things. But actually, in all honesty, that doesn't mean it's a bad animal. It's just going to come with issues. It's bad. The one thing I do like about wild-caught animals is at least I know they're coming with issues. I know they're going to have worms. Yeah. I know they're going to have maybe mites. Versus like the crap you can buy captive bred where everybody's like, captive bred's the way to go. Dude, Nido, MBD, IBD, or IBD, all that crap doesn't, like, I don't get snakes that come in with IBD and Nido and crazy sunshine virus and stuff. That exists in people's collections.
Yeah.
So what I would say is for imports, a lot of people do notice that the animals will appear healthy, be doing well, it seems, and then randomly die, no matter what they do. And a lot of times that is because it is extremely, extremely stressful on animals to adjust to captivity. No matter what we try to do to make it less stressful for them, it is hard for them to adjust to captivity. So the best thing to do for an animal that is being brought into captivity is actually to just leave it the hell alone. Don't even look at it. Do not interact with it, and give it just set it up and then leave it alone. Just like completely cover the front of the enclosure and do not look at it. Do not interact with it.
No.
It is extremely taxing on their system because this is an animal that is now in a new territory that is to be established. It doesn't know where the predators are. It has new smells to establish what's going on, so it has to figure out what each of these new smells are going to be.
And then this giant albino naked ape goes like this.
Naked ape.
So, but it's very difficult for them to go through this, and that's something that we need to consider. And animals that have even been in captivity for months to years still have this problem where they still have these nervous behaviors because they just still are they're waiting. They don't know what's coming. They don't know what the next season is. They don't know what the seasonality is either. So they're still waiting for their seasons to go through or things to come through and, like plants to change or animals to change around what their prey's going to look like.
Honestly, if you're getting anything out of the wild, it takes about 3 years for that animal to completely, conform to captivity and get used to it.
And some don't.
Yeah.
Some are better than others.
That's why, honestly, a lot of the stuff that people I wish I could breed, all this different stuff, it's because when they breed, like Apodora and all these Indo species that come in all the time, they come in, people don't get them to breed in the first year because they're not ball pythons and 8-year-olds don't do it. And, and then they don't breed, so they just get rid of them because, they just didn't do it. Well, you did exactly the same thing you did with your 27th generation ball pythons.
I was going to say, that's kind of the norm with Papuans, man. They just get handed down. It's like a cycle. It's because, people try and they just fucking are, they're just fighting from these two snakes not to kill each other. You know what I mean? And it's
half of these snakes don't hit sexual maturity till they're 6 or 7.
Yeah, at least minimum.
White lips, Timors
are the worst. Okay, I don't have her name. I should have got it, but there was a lady who posted. I forget what country she's from, but she posted finally, like I think 4 successful Timors that she hatched from a 19-year-old fucking female that she's had for like 15 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was her first clutch, 19 years old, bro. So that's
Dude.
why I was scratching my head like, God damn, maybe.
Sabu.
That Sabu python that I got eggs from, she's 15.
Yep, first clutch.
That is wild.
I've been trying for 13 years to breed those. Like, that's not, and it's not something
cool.
where, like,
There's a cool story with this, right? Like, if I'm right, because you have there's an Instagram post on this, and here it is, actually, right here, right? So,
yeah.
Kaya, what's the background? I mean,
Oh, that's such a cute picture of me.
No, this was, so that snake, her name is Pi, and I got her, I bought, my first exotic snake that I ever purchased was my male Sabu python that I got in like 2007. I got it in 2007. And I got her 2 years later. I purchased her from Mark and Kim Bell, actually at Tinley.
Nice.
And that was in 2009. And I grew him up. I tried to breed him for years and just nothing. I couldn't, they'd reabsorb, they'd breed, and then they'd reabsorb, or they wouldn't lay eggs. It just continued for a long time. And it was something that every person I talked to had the same. I talked to Dave Barker on this at lengths. And a lot of the stuff that he thought was the issue, just that didn't make a difference. I tweaked this, it didn't make a difference. It's like, but these aren't snakes that people are breeding. Like, there's a couple clutches of these a year, no matter how many people have them. So, like, it wasn't defeating, but it kind of sucked because it's like, I just got to figure this out. And I stuck with it and kept talking to people like Russ Gurley, Gary Shavino, those guys. And we just keep talking to each other about different stuff we're all trying. And me and Erica kept tweaking some stuff, and I think we kind of might have nailed it.
It was 2 years. It was when we got Poppy because I talked to that gentleman who was the Sabu breeder, and then we started making more tweaks, and then we started getting closer to success.
Yeah, it's like every year we'd make a tweak, we'd run a season, we'd get closer, we'd run another year, we'd get closer, and it just this year finally we nailed it, and she
forgot to change the temperatures.
Yeah, the 1 year I forgot to reset the cooling. They just stayed in cooling too long.
Yep.
So, yeah, and then there was stupid stuff, like I went through a divorce and stuff. There was like a lot of times where my life was kind of crazy, so those years I didn't try or whatever. But no, man, I've had her for since I bought him as a hatchling in 2007.
Yep.
And she's at 2005, so she's actually like 16 now.
She's older than Naomi.
Yeah, she's older than any of my kids.
And honestly, man, like, I mean, what can I say? I'm not gonna fucking make up any shit. Like, ball pythons to me are my foundation. I can't really fund my really dream animals without the ball pythons, straight up.
For sure.
But with these animals, right? The animals that we're talking about, if I don't fucking have any clutches from any of these things, these are animals that are never leaving me. Like, I'm really in love with these animals. And I feel like if people really have like some sort of collection that they're collecting with that mindset, and that day comes like yours. How many years down the?
Did I tell you how I got to this collection? Most of this stuff isn't stuff that I kept 15 years ago. I mostly kept and bred geckos. And after the twins were born, I had it was every night for hours trying to get the geckos done, and it just became too much. It wasn't fun anymore. And I got to a point where I'm like, I got to cut down, but I don't know what I want to do. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Like, if everything I kept had no financial value and I just gave the babies away, I didn't make any money, I just kept, what would I keep just because I loved it and I wanted it to interact with it? And then that once you think about it like that, it changes how you keep animals. It changes what you keep. It changes how you keep it. It changes everything. Because now that's where we changed into this back room like that. Is I'm like, dude, I have all these animals I love, and I love watching them. I want to just watch them. I don't want to just have them.
Yeah.
I want to watch them. I want to interact with them. I want to enjoy them. And like, yeah, if nothing breeds, that sucks. Like, whatever. But we're not out anything. I don't need it. And they're not easy animals to breed anyway. So if they go every other, even if, dude, if half the snakes in this room went every other year, I'd lose my mind. That would be phenomenal.
So would I. We'd run out of room.
Yeah, but
and like I said, nothing against the ball pythons. I'll never fucking leave them. I mean, they're always going to be a part of what I got going on. But I don't fucking memorize and stare at them the way I look at what I'm in this room. Like, my podcast room has all my arboreal stuff, and like, this is a room literally I could put down a chair and stare and just go from one enclosure to the next. You know what I mean? And honestly, man, to see them in something realistic is. I mean, I went from doing the fucking most basic setup, water dish, spray every other day, to at least putting a pothos plants. And man, just putting a pothos plants in there, just like at least brightened up my soul by at least that much. And I can only imagine by putting it in something. Hold on, because I will say this right here, like seeing this stuff right here is what's like, oh God, man. And I was in a room full of this shit, and I was like, dude, this is amazing. So much work put into this, but the reward of sitting back and just seeing everything thrive. I'll tell you what, Ryan, this shit right here isn't just an easy. You can't just roll in with no experience and say I'm going to have setups like this and it's all going to thrive. Like, let's be real.
Right. No, and that's the thing though. Like, to be totally honest, like there's not that much that we do that the average person couldn't. The difference is I know why I did it like that. I know why every single thing in that cage is planted where it is, secured where it is, drilled where it is, placed where it is. I know the basking temp on every stick. Like, I know that cage, and I know I have the background knowledge working with these animals to know why I designed it like that. That's what's missing with keepers, and that's what kills me with a lot of social media with reptiles. And it has nothing to do with like the rack systems. I don't hate rack systems. I think they have a place and they have a use. But it's when you get these kids and stuff, these people who come into the hobby and they see rooms of just racks and these hundreds of snakes, and it becomes this huge. Oh my God, I could own like 500 snakes. Like that's for any little kid that loves reptiles. That's amazing. That's the coolest thing ever.
That's still you.
So no, I know it's still me. I just don't have enough room anymore. So, but that's where they come in, and then they see these racks and they see these breeders, and they think, okay, that's what I got to do. So they get a rack that holds 3 snakes, and they put their first snake in it, and it goes in a tub. Dude, like reptiles already get neglected because they can't tell you they want to be taken out. They can't tell you they need water. My dogs drag their bowl around all day if they don't have food. Like, it's annoying. They tell me if I don't feed my frogs for a day, like a month, nothing happens. They just die.
The monitors tell you.
Like, well, yeah, the monitors scratch at the glass all day until I get pissed off.
Monitors for sure tell you. I'm starting to learn that myself.
So you get these kids that get into the hobby and they just stick stuff in drawers, and then it's just like that there needs to be we need to get people to come in and see stuff like these big planted tanks and this awesome stuff, and be like, you could create this habitat in your house. And then on top of it, you can have this super cool little lizard and frog that live in there, and they like interact with you, and you can feed them, and it's badass. Not, you can have 500 of these in a critter keeper. Like, that shouldn't be the standard. Like, and I think her herpetoculture has kind of gone on a little bit of a mission, but or a track where we started out with more tanks, then racks became the thing. And then everybody got sick of looking at their wall full of drawers, which is super fun to watch because you see the shadow inside it maybe move once.
Ooh,
unless they're ball pythons, they don't move.
Is awful.
I think it's shrinking.
They're like, oh, look at that! Like, I saw a shadow. It's alive still.
No, it's stuck in the cup in the wall.
Yeah, but you see that through the opaque tub, or you don't because it's gray. Like, so you don't see them at all.
Windows?
And then people got annoyed, and it's like, dude, I want to actually see my animals. And I went through this too. I had a ton of racks. And then I went to the room you walked into, where now the whole back room where our office is, every wall is covered in reptile enclosures.
By the way, we live in a very small
house. By the back room.
This is not like, please don't think that we live in a mansion and there's like this whole other room. We're literally looking at the damn room because it's the other side of what used to be my dining room.
Right.
What? We don't need to eat. We eat together out there. We don't need to eat together here. This is reptile space.
I'm just saying, for everybody out there, we're not making mad money here, so
Oh yeah, no, you become a millionaire in reptiles because you started as a billionaire.
Hey, and with all due respect, Ryan, I have a feeling that if that was your motive, money, right, you would be balling by now. I feel like you could have taken advantage of this shit a long.
Probably.
And it's just not your thing. You know what I mean? Because you're so knowledgeable, and honestly, everything you have and everything you fight for is for either the keep of the animal or for our sake of being a keeper for the animal and staying in the fucking game and not ever not being able. I mean, you're trying to make life easier for everybody. You know what I mean?
I'm not trying to become a millionaire. I'm just trying to make it so other little reptile nerds like me can grow up into reptile nerds like me.
That's why you have me. I'm trying to make you a house husband.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, I don't know how long this is. It could be a wrap up question, but if it gets answered quick, then we'll go into some more stuff. But I have a feeling it might be a long one because there's been things that come out, and you have big breeders who put it on their YouTube channel, and hey, this could be the savior of your snake. And I've heard a couple things. One of them's been vanilla extract, or how you put vanilla extract in a fucking snake and it starts to eat. There's one, right? I didn't buy into that at all. I thought that was a gimmick. And then there's another one, and I don't want to knock this down, but I would love to hear your feedback, okay? But this fucking Da Vinci fucking snake syrup, like some sort of fucking syrup.
We're just heard
the Da Vinci fucking cough syrup, whatever it is. What's your opinion with that? Because I've heard people fucking rep it. I've even had someone come to my Patreon page saying, "Man, this is awesome." And I asked them, "Have you used it?" No, I haven't used it. Holy shit, you're acting like you used it, But everyone gets on this high horse about shit that hasn't even had any facts yet if it works, and I feel like that's a problem. But maybe I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. So what do you guys have to say on that? If you don't mind.
Yep.
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah, no.
It's very easy.
I got told.
It's very easy. Ready? Don't be a dumbass. Easy. Don't put stupid shit into your animals. Don't try to be cheap about it. If your snake is not eating, there might be a reason for it. If it is a self-imposed inappetence moment, then that is okay. Snakes can go a really long time without eating if it is self-imposed. If it is something where you are feeding it and then it's continuously losing weight and then it's not doing well, then you need to take it to a vet. Don't be a cheap asshole. Go to a veterinarian. And then on top of it, if it's a modern lizard, look at what you're doing with your husbandry. You're probably fucking up somewhere in your husbandry. There's probably parasites in there somewhere. They do need to be dewormed every now and then. Also, look at your handling. There might be something going on with the handling. Are you handling your turtles first, and then your lizards, and then your snakes like a dumbass? That could be part of the problem.
So,
If
hold
you
on. For
handle your
everybody that
turtles
doesn't
first-
know, if you have multiple types of reptiles, always
I'm
end
talking.
with chelonians because they carry the most communicable.
I know, that's what I'm literally going
Yeah,
for.
but no one literally talking, they're hearing you rant and scream knows that.
That's why I was saying it. So turtles actually carry entamoebas, which is this awesome little protozoan. It's really, really cool. But it'll completely screw up your animals to like the point, it's actually called the collection killer because once it gets into your snake, like bam, the whole thing is like gone and it spreads like wildfire and there's nothing you can do about the whole situation. So always end with your turtles, but just don't be dumb. A lot of the problems where people are saying like my animal's not eating and then they reach for some kind of stimulant is the most asinine thing that I have ever heard. And all you're doing half the time is putting sugar into these animals. That's all you're doing. Most of the time is just sugar. And that's all it is. It's just giving them a little bit of a glucose boost. And that's it. When you soak animals in Gatorade, oh my God, all you're doing is making your animals sticky. Do you want to take a bath in Gatorade? It's literally the equivalent to you taking a bath in Pedialyte. You don't want to do it. You go in and then you go and get an IV if you're dehydrated. That's what you need to do, and you need to look at your freaking husbandry. Don't be lazy about it and think that a $6 bottle of something is going to make it better. Oh my God, I can't breathe.
Okay, breathe. So, I haven't looked at the Da Vinci stuff.
Damn!
From what I know about it, it's a lot of amino acids and other stuff. It's vitamins. It's basically a vitamin supplement is what it looks like. It's not going to be anything magical or special, but it may help with something. But no, there is no magic. Reptile nutrition is shit in the hobby. If there's actually good vitamins and minerals in it, since you've never looked at the package at all, you can't make a face stop. So, if it actually has decent stuff in it, it may be a great supplement. But there is no, like she said, there is no magic like your animal stopped eating, now it'll just start eating because you give it something. Like if it stopped eating, it either stopped eating because it doesn't want to eat, or it stopped eating because of the other 90% of the reason is because your husbandry's wrong. 95% of veterinary visits are because of incorrect husbandry.
Yep, and they're long-lasting issues. The worst part of it is that reptiles have such innate plasticity that they are just able to overcome problems for so long, and nutritional issues don't show up for such a long time until it hits that just apex, and then all of a sudden it's like that mountain again. They just come down that other side of the mountain, and there's not much that you can do. Once you come down the other side of the mountain, you're kind of screwed. There's not much that can be done to drag that animal back up. You can maybe make it comfortable. Like if gout sets in, you're screwed. You can make them comfortable. And that's because you had animals that weren't being fed proper diets. A lot of times it's feeding bearded dragons, for instance, or Ogatria, so the smaller monitor lizards from Australia, the dwarf monitors. It's feeding them like turkey or mealworms, super worms, those really high fatty foods that are super high in phosphorus, and not actually giving them calcium-based things, or giving them some of the more high chitin ones, or even ones that just have more protein in them, like roaches. Roaches actually have a little bit more protein on them, or even earthworms. They love earthworms. And then looking at their humidity. And then you're ending up with animals that are completely dehydrated. But bearded dragons are treated like true blue, like hardcore desert animals, and never given a chance to rehydrate themselves. And then they develop horrible gout too. And then they're usually allowed to preferentially choose their insects that they eat. And of course they're going to choose the freaking super worms over trying to drag their lazy ass around a cage and catch like crickets. So they develop gout hardcore. And then once that sets in, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
but
so
you don't see it.
There's great supplements out there. I can't say anything about the Da Vinci thing. I don't know what it is, but like for a vanilla or something to make it eat, all of that's crap. All of that is.
Well, no. Hold on, real quick. I don't want to say that there's vanilla in that Da Vinci.
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that. I'm
separate.
just saying
I don't.
like any kind of
Or
quick
like
cure or liquid or
AIDS or
any of that kind of stuff that'll help your snake start eating. It's all crap.
anything that says that it's a reptile stimulant or an appetite stimulant.
Guys,
crap.
I had my first Timor, 9.5 months, not one fucking meal. Okay, all I could do is look at her. I've noticed, damn, no weight's being lost, and all I could do is freak out, but not really freak out. And I can tell you what, all I did was understand this is an animal. Okay, in the wild, I'm sure these motherfuckers just do their thing and they don't eat. And sure enough, man, the fucking snake ate. Okay, it ate without any fucking snake lean juice, anything like that. It just ate. It turned on. You know what it is, dude? And fucking whatever, ball python community, say what you want. But one of the arguments that somebody had for this snake lean shit was, oh, it's when a male turns off food too soon and you still need to use him for breeding. So, you give him that so he continues to keep going. I'm like, that's being selfish. That's being selfish as fuck. That's like you're forcing nature to happen by doing that. Like, I don't me personally, you're fucking stupid for doing that. I just think, me personally, if that's your game plan to have a fucking snake continue to eat, like, bro, you're fucking get the fuck out of the game then.
The animal's gonna tell you what it wants to do and what it's okay with doing and what its body and it can handle. You don't know that, so don't try to tell it what it can do and force it to do that stuff.
And that's the other, again, the big takeaway for animals that are fasting when it comes to snakes. Lizards are different because it depends on their metabolism. But they'll know what to do on it. If the animal is not losing weight and it's maintaining a healthy body condition and holding on to its own, just not eating, like it's just maintaining an appetite on its own, that's completely fine as long as it's self-imposed fasting. If it's not imposed and you're imposing fasting and then it's not eating afterwards, you're done fucked up.
Right. Either way, listen, there's so many things that could be, revolutionary to the hobby, and I get it, but I feel like the fucking gimmicks is what really get to me. And, and the fact that I'm like, dude, and it all worked out because this shit was got brought to my Discord this week. And I was like, thank God I have Erica and fucking Ryan. This is where I'm like, I don't even need to explain too much about this. I was like, let's just tap in this Thursday. I'm going to simply, and honestly, I did not know what your response was going to be. I didn't know. I was like, maybe they know something that I don't know. I can't wait to hear. But sure enough, there's your fucking answer. Don't fucking just stop. Like, fuck. Go to the vet. If you're really that concerned, go to the vet.
Yeah, and that's honestly good rule of thumb is if your animal doesn't eat, leave it alone. Check its body weight. Once it loses more than 15% of its body weight, go to a vet. That's it. If it hasn't eaten and it loses 15%, go to a vet.
Right.
After that, you're good.
And if you don't have a scale, get one.
Yeah.
They're at
That's it.
Walmart or Amazon. And while you're on Amazon, take a look and see how much you're spending on stupid shit on Amazon. If you have
Right.
bought more than one stupid item on Amazon that you look at and go, kind of wish I hadn't bought that, or why did I buy that? Then you too can afford to become a USARC member every single month.
Exactly. Just cut down your stupid Amazon spending.
Because God knows I do that a lot.
Oh my God, guys. I can't even thank you for how much it's been. This has been an amazing time. We do have to hit the hot seat questions, and I want to do this
Do it.
since there's both of you. I want the answers at the same time. Okay.
Oh, shit.
No explanation.
All right.
No.
Cool. Yeah, like you're gonna fly in here and make the fucking bed for me?
Oh,
Like
bro.
make the couch for me up, clean it up for you?
Just make sure that, yeah, I slept really great on your couch. I think you'll be fine. Okay. All right. So here we go. Hot seat questions for the McVeighs. I'm coming in hot with these. No explanation, please. Just it's one or the other. Tell me what you think. And here we go. Are you guys ready?
All right.
Oh, God.
Hot seat questions coming in. Frozen thought or live?
Frozen
For
thought.
God.
A cut or no cut?
No cut.
What?
Egg cut. Cutting eggs. Yes or no?
Oh, no, don't cut them. Why?
Big flexor or no flexor?
What?
Would you like to
Come on,
explain the
Erica.
question? 'Cause this
Erica,
is-
you're a
this is fun.
flexor. You flex hard. You're a
Oh
flexor.
yeah, she's a flexor. Oh yeah.
Up.
You swing a big dick, baby.
Oh my,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
No, I told her when she went in for that job interview, I'm like, look, here's what you do. You know why I get the jobs that I get and I get paid what I do? Because I walk in, I smack 17 pounds of dick on the fucking table, I tell them what I want, and that's how it goes. And that's how you get a job. So walk in there, flop that fucking whale dick on the table, and then just be like, you need me. Done.
Then flexor.
Yeah, so flex.
And what, Ryan? Are you? What did you say?
Flex.
All right,
Yeah.
to both flexors.
Massively.
All right, sport or no sports?
No sports.
I like sports. Don't follow much anymore, though.
Okay, steak or fish?
Steak.
Steak.
Okay, red wine or white wine?
None.
White.
Okay. Favorite thing to cook, Erica?
Pierogi.
Favorite thing to eat, Ryan?
Motherfucker, why'd you give him the easier one?
He's a guy and he loves to
Dude.
eat.
He cooks really
I
well.
cook way. I'm the cook, man. Like, but no.
Okay, let's switch it. Let's switch it. Well, okay, Ryan. Favorite thing to cook, Ryan.
My favorite thing to cook for everybody is I make homemade chicken noodle soup, noodles, all of it, totally from scratch.
Like the old school chicken noodles,
Old
like the.
school boiled
Oh
whole
my
chicken,
God, my
blood
wife loves
butter,
that.
all of it.
That's actually
Okay.
what Emily was
That's what's on
taking
the
care
stove.
of.
Wow. Okay, Erica. Favorite thing to eat.
Sushi.
So we're gonna have sushi when we roll up next week, right?
Oh hell yeah.
All right, cool. Van Halen or Sammy Hagar? You can't wait for her, Ryan. You got to say.
I'm curious where she's gonna go. I would have to say Van Halen.
Oh, perfect. She wants to say Hager. I know it.
She's like, I just don't like Van
I
Halen.
just didn't like Van Halen. With
So
either
snap-
Sammy Hagar or Van Halen. I didn't like either. I didn't like any Van Halen or Sammy Hagar.
God damn it! Erica, just pick one.
Her answer to that is yes.
Neither.
Okay,
Or no.
perfect. All right, this one will be easier. Eminem or Machine Gun Kelly?
Eminem.
What? Who?
Fuck, seriously.
No, what?
Eminem, Machine Gun Kelly, or Eminem?
Oh, not that douche. Eminem.
All right, thank you. All right, listen.
Sorry.
All right. West Coast rapper, East Coast rap.
There's a difference.
She does.
Huge
she
difference.
listens. She
I listen to country and like.
no. She
classic
listens
rock.
to like classic rock and musicals. If you want, you should ride in the car with her, and you can listen to like Les Mis. It's super fun. It's hard
Okay,
work.
fine. Erica, you listen to country?
Mhm.
Kenny Chesney or Garth Brooks?
Ooh, Garth Brooks.
Damn it. Okay. Okay. And then you, Ryan, West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
Ooh, probably East.
Do you
East.
even know the
Okay,
difference?
perfect.
Is there an actual
Are you
difference?
serious? Yes, I do know.
Okay, here we go. Little word association. Okay, first thing to come to mind: milk.
Titties.
Did you say MILF?
Milk.
Milk.
Oh, I think the MILF.
MILF is still titties.
The same thing. It all relates. Milk.
The MILF!
Milk. Okay, perfect. Cocoa.
Butter?
That's where I was going to go. Butter. Cocoa butter.
Okay.
I'm still stuck on MILF.
She's still thinking about boobs.
Day 60.
What?
Yeah, you cut out for a second. What was that?
Day 60.
Day 60. I don't even know
Your
what day
eggs on day
60.
60 in the incubator. What do you do?
Ooh.
Wait
Stare
another
and
30
just,
days?
Just scream. Oh yeah, dude! With half the shit we fucking hatch, we're at the halfway point there, so it's pretty fucking boring.
Day 60, we're like, yeah,
Halfway there.
nothing's done anything.
Substrate.
Ooh, AstroTurf. No, not AstroTurf. What
Jesus
the fuck is that? That
fucking
turf.
Christ.
That turf it. That thing.
Turfus? That's not a
Turfus.
substrate. That's an incubation medium. All right. She's super pretty.
I'm so
That's what I love
hungry.
about her.
Almost done, Erica. Why UVB?
Because every living fucking thing on the planet uses it. And
Don't
it's
suck.
every single thing. On top of it, something we didn't say, UV bulbs put off UVA and UVB. You can supplement UVB by supplementing D3.
You're very aggressively pointing.
I get to be angry. But you cannot supplement what UVA does to animals in any way. There's no way to supplement, and it directly affects their serotonin development in their brains, their natural behaviors, their breeding cycles, their day-night cycles, their eating habits, all of it.
You don't want to put your snake on antidepressants.
Yeah.
No.
You
Right.
can't. No. So seriously, UV. This is what, dude. What kills me in the fucking hobby is you get these guys that are like, dude, I built this wooden box and then I bought like a $10,000 lizard and I'm putting it in there. The monitor guys, dude, especially. I got this brand new Bell's Face lace monitor. Oh, what UV did you put on it? They don't need UV. I'm like, what? You know, that's a diurnal fucking animal that lives on the Australia outside.
Right.
You don't think it gets UV?
Sun. Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I'm going to build this really cool enclosure. I'm not going to put UV in it because they don't need it. Yeah, that's totally natural when you leave out the fucking sun. You know, sort of a part of nature that's important, right?
Oh my god, I probably should have saved that for like not the hot seat question. Okay, stuck shed.
Ooh, you soak them in a wet, warm, moist pillowcase. Stick them in a warm, moist pillowcase. It keeps the moisture on the skin, and it'll come right off.
So is your word
Like you put it in the
association
pillowcase?
Yeah, you
Like you
take a
put it
pillowcase.
inside the pillowcase?
Get a pillowcase all fucking wet with nice warm water.
Or
And then
one
just-
of our new snake bags.
Yeah, or as a Vivtex snake bag.
Respect.
and then take it, bring it out a little bit so it's not soaking ass wet. Put the snake in there, tie it up, stick it in the bin, and leave it.
Without water.
Yeah, no water or anything in there. And it'll come off in about 20 minutes like nothing.
Instagram trolls.
Trolls?
Yeah, social media trolls.
Danny Mendez.
Damn! Oh my god, that was a bomb!
He literally lives his life to be a troll. That's his whole reason for living.
Damn.
You're such a...
That's all he does is troll people. I don't think he actually adds anything to the hobby anymore other than trolling.
Play nice in the
I mean, okay, if I could, I had him on.
Behave yourself, he says. I'm going to run
I had
my
him-
mouth, he does.
I will say, with all due respect, I had Danny on the show, and he was fucking awesome to listen to.
Dude, I used to really I knew Danny really well. I've known him for a long time, and I miss the old Danny, but he kind of everything I see with him now is just trolling and bitching about people, but not actually doing anything anymore.
No.
So
If it's one thing this channel does is let people speak what they want to speak, and that's my man Ryan speaking. So God bless you.
Well, I know, because he knows he's live, and I can't shut him up.
I still have love for Danny. That's all he does. He's just become he likes to sit there in the drama and stir the pot and start shit and troll people and that's what he does. And if that's what he does, that makes him happy, dude. Fucking power to him. Love him the same.
Well, brings me to my last hot seat question here. One has to go forever, and I mean forever. Facebook or Instagram? Which one needs to go?
Oh, Facebook.
Wow. And these are coming from two highly respected Facebook individuals. Like these, you guys have a great support system on Facebook too.
Oh, absolutely.
So for you to say, for this coming from these two, where they could easily say, well, all our friends are on Facebook. No, they're just speaking the fucking facts. Bam, I love these two. Hottest fucking couple. Hottest couple session I've had since Brian Barczyk and fucking Lori were on here. So all I got to say is you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Dude, you guys had a lot of people who were in here excited. They're like, I'm telling you, man, I'm going to get a lot of great feedback off this episode. I'm excited to go back and hear it. I'm more excited to hear what the feedback is from all my trappers and viewers. But what do you have to say to all your supporters out there, man? Everyone who was listening, getting pumped up like I was off this. What do you have to say to everybody? Both of you guys.
Honestly, the one thing that I think has come off for me in the last year is something that really kept at the front of my mind is stop thinking that you can push somebody to do better, and instead all of us collectively just do better. Be better. Think of ways you can keep animals better. Think ways that you can promote the industry and the hobby better, and then don't expect anyone else to do it. Get off your ass and be what you want to see the hobby be, and people will follow.
Don't suck.
That's 2021 is the year of stop sucking.
Seriously, that's gonna be my new hashtag for the company.
There you go.
Don't suck. Did he seriously go to take a piss again?
I'm listening. Sorry, I thought Erica was gonna talk more. I was like, I have time for sure. Erica's gonna say some shit, but
We're gonna get you that fucking sports buddy. You just strap it around your crap, a little bag in your pocket, and you're good to go.
Dude,
You never pick it up.
we're talking about the addiction, bro. These things, the coffee goes right through me. I try. You know what I mean? But guys, you know, this is more than round two worthy. You guys will be back on the show for sure. I'm gonna be in Chicago next week. I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys. I can't wait. But more importantly, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate this. I appreciate your guys' time. I know, Erica, you've been fucking nonstop for the last 30 plus hours. So I hope you get some good sleep tonight, please. Ryan, get some sleep, please. At least a solid.
Solid 2.5.
I did the podcast on Modern Medusa and then went right to Indiana. And then
just got back,
slept
took a nap, woke up, sat down.
for a little bit. And
Savage.
then did Indiana and then came back here. And Brian's like, you can sleep for like
Well, you got 20
40
minutes. Go take a
minutes.
nap.
Oh,
and then
man.
you have to be on with MJ. I'm like, I got this. I got this.
Bless you guys apart. Well, you guys did it. You did it.
One day, everybody else will be stepping up as bad and doing all this shit with us, and we won't have as much shit to do.
Right. Well, guys, I will see you guys next week, and I cannot wait. You guys have a wonderful night.
You too,
And
brother, man.
you guys are awesome. Okay. Thank you,
I
guys.
love you, brother.
Ryan and Erica Mcveigh. Bye, guys. I'll see you next week.
Sounds good,
Peace
man.
out. Wow. Jesus. Woo. It's not even that hot in my room. It's like, what, 74? It feels like it's 84. That was an epic fire ass episode. Thank you for everyone who tapped in. Listen, this is a channel where we all know people could speak their opinions on things. You know, hey, listen, everyone has their opinion, right? Well, we heard one opinion, and it's an opinion I happen to really agree with. So, but hey, to each their own, right, guys? But have a wonderful night. Before I leave, guys, I do want to say shout out to my homie Christian over at Morph Endorphins, man. This guy sent me a sick-ass Canadian package. That's pretty sick, too. Look at that. He has a business card with the snakes on the back. I think that's very player. Very, very nice, Christian. But thank you for the stickers, man. He sent me some really awesome stickers. And he sent my wife a shirt, and he sent me a shirt. So you're the man, bro. My wife always loves it when breeders send, you know, not only gear to me, but to her too, because she always likes to match me and shit. You know what I mean? She's one of those. I love you, wife. But all right, guys, thank you so much. Oh, before I let you guys go, this Saturday, okay, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hope you guys are ready to tap in for another real Trap Talk with MJ, because we have a day one homie, okay? This guy, we've been through the ruts together. He started off with the ball pythons. And he still has some, but man, he ventured into the short tail game and he is fucking killing it, man. Really true to his shit, really passionate, and a sick ass tattoo artist, man. But we're gonna have my man Matt from O'Malley's Morphs in the fucking building this Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be ready to tap in with my mans. Go to the link in the description below. Set that reminder. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm telling you right now, shit's going to get real, just like every other single trap talk that I bring to you guys every Thursday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you guys know damn well out there, my trap family, what's good? Trap family, I'll see you Sunday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Strictly Trappy family. Can I give one shout out real quick? Because I earned a Trap Patreon member during the podcast right now, and I'm super thankful. Okay, thanks to the homie Matt. We got a new Trap 5-star general in the building. Respect to the homie Matt. If you want to join a sick-ass Patreon page, if you're tired of just getting misled and not knowing where you can go, well, guess what? The Trap Patreon is here to fucking save you. Go to the link below, click it, check it out, and watch what happens. Watch how your game changes in a positive way. Yee! Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Don't be a hater. Just subscribe, man. Be ready to tap in every Thursday, every Saturday. Come fuck with me on Instagram, mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E. Come follow the podcast page on Instagram, Trap Talk with MJ Podcast. Shout out to all my Twitch viewers. If you were on Twitch watching, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. TikTok, we'll be getting you there. Hit me up on TikTok. Hit me up anywhere, man. And like I said, Trap family, I'll see you tomorrow, Sunday. Yeah, hella Sunday. All right, guys. Have a good night.